Have open and we can get this first game underway.
Yep. All right, guys. So this hunter is already going to get accepted. Wow. Big sap for him, and he's going to be popping Shadow Dance onto our DK. I'm sorry, no, a blind on the DK. This rogue's all over the place, opening back onto the hunter. His trinket, his proc goes from a cheap shot into a kidney shot. Hunter's in a bit of a trouble at 54% HP. Our Death Knight has Lichborn and used his trinket at the same time, but look at the hunter, man. He has to turns at 18% health. Not looking good for him.
Yeah, the Paladin's already triggered and bubbled as well. He uses Aura Mastery. The Shadow Priest really locked him down completely. Second to turn's going to come out there from the hunter as well. Full Hex going down onto the DK. They have no decurse. Can't get out of that at all. Bloodlust is up, but I mean, look at the Shaman taking so much damage now. Already down to 10% HP. He's in a lot of trouble here. Killshot may come out, and he's just going to fall. So even with that incredible opener, he did go down, but the hunter may actually be able to die in a cross kill here. That Paladin was stuck in a full fear. Holy Chalk is going to come out. There's a Shadow Meld as well, just trying to reduce as much damage as possible, but he does go down, and we're now down to 2v2. DK Paladin going to be going up against the Shadow Priest Rogue. And I really feel like this rogue is going to have to try to get away and do something. There's a mind control out right now onto that DK. Really nice move, but the Hodge does go down onto the rogue. He's going to have to trinket. He's popping a Vanish Cheap Shot into the full kidney onto that DK. And I mean, they're going to have to get away. The Shadow Priest is He's going to disperse for the mana. And they really need to try to get a reset here, get a resell, do something. Get some CC out on this Paladin, either go for him or the DK. But I mean, this rogue is taking a lot of damage, and the Shadow Priest is They really have no cooldowns right now.
Do they even have a chance, man? That was so incredible the way they were able to kill the hunter, but I feel like this is just going to be a long game of them trying to run away without getting any offensive pressure. Perhaps once Shadow Dance is back up and blind, they may be able to land something, but blind doesn't come up for 20 seconds. Shadow Dance doesn't come up for 18. This ghoul pet is really destroying him, too.
The Priest is man. So there's the Hymn of Hope coming out. He's going to try to get some mana back, and he will be able to do that. They're going to have one chance, I feel. Like, they're going to be able to get a little bit of mana back, and then they're going to have, Fear come out, and that's going to be it. They're going to go for it with the Silence and the Fear. It's just a matter of when they're going to do it. I mean, as you said, this Ghoul and the Paladin really working down on this Rogue, and he may actually just end up dying. They don't have recoup, and he's taking a lot of damage, and he's down to 6% HP. The second Cloak does come back up. There's a Kidney going down. Cheat Death procs it, and he will fall. That is going to spell the end of Game 1. So a really close one, a pretty exciting start to the tournament.
Yeah, that was pretty explosive. A cross kill instantly. This is going to be a good day, man. This is going to be a really good day. Now, what can our Shadow Priest, Rogue, Shaman do differently this time? I love the way...
We'll see how it's going to work out. The Rogue's going to be going out once again. Will he get the sap? He saps the DK this time. There's the Shadow Step. And the dance popped. He's going to be able to cheap shot onto the hunter. Hunter is dismantled. The DR cheap shot comes out. There's a full kidney, and he's going to be stuck in that full. We see the divine sack coming out from the Paladin. Bop used as well there. Trinket on the DK. The DK is doing a lot of damage to this Ellie Shaman though.
Yeah, Ellie already down to 60%. Rather, our Paladin dipping relatively low. There was a disarm on him, and our Hunter's incredibly low. The Shaman just dies. Will the Hunter die too? He is at 53% health. The Strangulate ends on the Shadow Priest, and I guess they're just going to leave. They don't believe they have a chance, and I don't think they did either, so that is 2-0.
I don't really understand the Ellie Shaman, man.
Yeah, they're sort of just saying, let's give it 30 seconds to see if we can pull out a W, and I don't know if I like that. That is going to be 2-0 in favor of Kashiis Fashion Show. Interesting name, I guess, when you got the fashion.
Team's going to be able to make it work, but they could also be playing Elemental Shadow Holy, which would be like kind of more of a triple healer thing, which could end up going a lot longer.
Yeah. Oh, man. I forgot about downrank spells, man. All the Arena Tournament fans are probably thinking I'm such a noob, but everything's so different on live right now.
Yeah, I mean, Rank 1 Frostbolt, debuff covering, all that stuff's really big. And they are playing Shadow Priest, Mage, Shaman. And these are some of the partners that usually play with Flynn, actually, on this Shadow Priest, Mage, Shaman team. So these are two teams that always do really, really well on here. And it looks like the target will be that Prot Warrior. He probably is wearing very low resilience. They generally did wear a lot of PvE gear. To kind of just get higher damage and everything, and they have so many reflects and stuns and interrupts that they're able to get away with that. But it can be very scary if they do get caught in a bad spot. Hulk Fast, you see, is the target for this warrior right now. Hulk Fast taking some damage, going to get sundered up here. And it'll be interesting to see how this turns out. I mean, if it does come down actual just mana, or if it's going to be more of a just kind of a burst game.
Wow, and our Prop Warrior actually just completely destroyed that water elemental, and he's hopping over onto the Shadow Priest right now, but so far not too much damage going out, kind of a relatively slow game. They're just trying to kill pets right now. As you can see, Vertex's pet is at 32% health, being hit pretty hard by the Shadow Priest and the Mage at the same time. Vertex was trying to cast his health funnel right there. I believe he was interrupted by something, but he is channeling it once again. So far, not too much damage on any real players. Our mage is being hit. He does have full dots on him. He also blinked out of that slam right there. And now the pet's still dying, still taking a little bit of damage. Our mage has to use his mana gem. That's weird for a mage to have mana. And our warrior is hopping over onto the Shadow Priest. Once again, our Shadow Priest hurting on mana just a little bit. And the damage is going to come out when we see the Bloodlust being cast by our Resto Shaman.
Yeah,
That's when everything's going to get bursted.
I think just based off what they're doing, what they're going to try to do is just kind of kill a pet here, catch the Warlock without souling, basically, and just blow him up with Bloodlust. I mean, that's my guess here. Just CC the Paladin, just destroy that Warlock, because they're actually really committing to this pet. They've been on it basically the entire time. You can see Vigilance is even up on it from Kostka, knowing that they're just tunneling this pet. I mean, they're even using silences and stuff on the Paladin, trying to kill it. You can see those AoE spell reflex going up constantly from Kostka, trying to produce as much damage as possible. But there's the swap over on Kostka. Kostka's going to get deep frozen. He's going to have to trinket that, and Shield Wall immediately was already down at 30% HP, taking an absolute ton of damage there. Hulk Blast at the same time, getting dipped down relatively low. Phenobra's going to get CS, and there's a Fear coming out on the Marm. He's going to have to trinket that. The Tremor was already killed. Disperse his force same time, and now there's a swap over onto the Mage. He's going to be taking a lot of damage as well. A ton of pressure coming out here from this Prot Warrior Warlock team. They're finally going to be able to get something going, forcing 2 trinkets there.
Yeah, but unfortunately for our warrior, he did use Wall without Bloodlust being popped. Now he's extremely susceptible. I feel like he's a really good kill target, but he is doing a lot of damage onto this mage. He's actually chasing this mage a little bit. No, he does end up turning around back onto the priest. The priest was having to sit inside of a full Hodge right there. Priest mana still at about half. Our mage is a little bit low. He got a polymorph reflected onto him, as well as getting topped by that shaman. Tremor Totem being kept down, that way our Warlock cannot just throw fears. Remember, it is a constant buff on them now, unless the Warlock does kill it. Phenobra's still taking a little bit of damage. He's getting ballsy too, and there's the Bloodlust. Here's the burst. It's going to go into the Warrior, it looks like, as he's fully dotted up by the Shadow Priest, down to 40%, back up to 55 now, trying to throw concussive blowout, just trying to peel as much as he can for himself, still in a lot of trouble at 17%. Wow, and there's the last stand, another Spell Reflect, but he does get deeped. He's at 33%. Will he end up falling right here? And he will die, and it doesn't look like our Warlock is going to be able to kill anybody else off on this day. So that's going to be 1-0 in favor of Breaking Bads, my friend.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, did the Paladin still have bubble? Like, it's kind of some glare on my skin. I think he did. Like, I mean, I saw him. He popped Aura Master and everything, but kind of feel like he should have maybe just kind of like bubbled there. Maybe didn't take that seriously enough. But I mean, there was no wall for that lust or anything, so there wasn't a ton that Kostka could do. I mean, maybe just try to like, run away LOS. I mean, there's obviously different schools of thought as to what to do versus the lust, and for Prot Warriors, most of the time it is better to stay and just keep attacking and just kind of shut down as much damage as possible, but the damage coming out is going to be absolutely huge during the lust, and they're really going to have to be able to survive through that. The Warrior or the Paladin probably going to be the kill targets here, and I mean, after it worked last game on Kostka, then probably just the same thing.
Yeah, and I inspected this mage's gear. He's actually wearing a few pieces of PvE, so I think he's probably the best target. Especially, I mean, they were hitting him anyway, so they probably know that. Another almost instant Frostbolt went into that Warlock, and now they're going to be starting off on the Warrior. He's going to intervene to his Paladin. His Paladin's actually taking the damage from a deep into a silence, into a disarm. He got a nice big heal off right there. He's at 89% health.
There was a bit of a gap in between that disarm and the deep and everything, so he was able to get some heals off, and he didn't even have to trinket. So good cooldown conservation there, like good feels, and honestly just good foresight knowing he didn't have to trinket there. So good job by Svetka, and he is going to be taking some more damage this time, but they're doing a good job peeling off, and I think he's going to be able to top himself off here and then get back to Kostka, because Kostka is in some trouble. He's fully dotted up down to 30% HP. He does pop that Hellstone there and does catch a heal, so I think he should be fine for now. Marm is going to get fully concloed, and it looks like they're going to go over onto him. Remember, they don't have the MS, but there was a conclo into a coil. He's down to 50% HP, and I mean, they do have good burst and they have good sustained pressure, but anytime a heal goes off, it's pretty much full HP because there is no MS.
Yeah, that's That's rough. And now there's going to be a Hex onto the Paladin. The Paladin having to sit inside of that full. Looks like they're going to be able to kill the Warlock pet here. It's at 2% health. It will end up falling. Vertex just trying to apply tongues to everything. He's going to pour it away. Uses his Feldom right there. They tried to interrupt it. They used their counterspell on it, but they were unable to. Hulk Pass taking some damage at 78% at this point. Svedka was inside of a Frost Nova right there. He's getting out of it right now. Gets put into a silence out of that. Not too much pressure going, though. I would have preferred for them to save that silence for later. A deep freeze onto Vertex. The Paladin trying to dispel it off. He is unable to get it, though, so he had to sit that full, and this Warlock switches to Demon Armor. Really great job there. Polymorph was reflected onto Phenobers, but they're still tunneling into this Warlock. The Warlock's probably going to want to get away and hug a pillar, try and avoid some damage because Bloodlust has popped. He's taken so much, he ports away at 7%, but no, he will die as the Paladin blows bubble a little bit too late once again, man.
Honestly, I feel like that was one of the Warlock's fault. Like, I mean, he was like, his Paladin was in a full fear. He couldn't devour it. And he just didn't port, and he ported at 7% HP. I mean, I feel like if he just ported as soon as his Paladin got feared and just started pillaring, his Paladin not only would not have to use bubble, but he would have lived.
Yeah. So,
yeah,
that's 2-0 in favor of Breaking Bads.
And we are from Circle, an epic comeback we can only assume, as they won 2 straight. Just going for the DPS may be the safer option, so it's really going to be up to them. But regardless, let's kind of follow this mage out, as I think that he's going to be the main target. You know, either the PhD is probably going to go for this mage, or I think they're just going to try to tunnel the shaman into the ground.
Oh, he's a cute little gnome, man. He's
got that EA, man. It's fearsome. What are you talking about?
He's got the what? Wow, big damage onto the Warlock already, though. At 68% health, he's going to be playing Destruction. He's just trying to get those
port, man. Like, he should just press port instantly when he got gripped. I don't know why he's out there. He's taking a lot of damage, and they're going to have to probably use some cooldowns here. And I think that you just need to port. But anyway, there's a Shadow Fury. Lust's going to come out here. We'll see what they can get done, as there is a full fear onto that Hunter. There was a Sheep onto the Paladin. The Hunter taking a lot of damage here from this Destro Lock, and the Mage deterrents his force, but the Chaos Bolt going to go through, finish him off. The Hunter falling down there. That was that's a wrath burst.
Yeah, that's pretty similar. You know, I'm familiar with that kind of burst coming out of mages and certain types of warlocks at this point. But that was surprisingly quick. The Paladin sat inside of a polymorph. He didn't end up bubbling, and I don't know if he actually trinketed. Doesn't look like he trinketed either. So maybe he should have trinketed that poly. Maybe he was counting on a deterrence from the Hunter or something like that.
Like, you know, if the Paladin's gonna sit at the
gates have opened, Love Ender, he's a little startled at the start, man. He hopped out of the gates and he's like, wait, do I really want to do this? But he is making his way to their other pillar at this point. Our Warlock as well going near the same pillar. And he does have his port down on the other one, so he is able to port away. That doesn't mean that this DK can grip him far away from his port. Got to have really fast reactions to get that.
Well, I mean, honestly, yeah, his port's on left pillar and he's on the right pillar. So if he gets gripped in the middle, then he's going to be out of range. So he has to be aware of that. We do see that mage kind of poking forward a little bit to get you know, some slows, some debuffs up on DK. But since they're not really doing anything constant, the Paladin's just going to spam out those dispels, and they have to be careful about that because it is allowing him to get Sacred Cleansing up as well.
Wow, I completely forgot all about that. That's a really good call, man. Our Warlock, or I'm sorry, our Mage is being ticked down to 90% just from that volley and that Death and Decay. Such strong abilities, kind of underused back in the day. I feel like it's really good. Death and Decay still insanely good. No, I'm just joking. But the Warlock, they actually need to keep an eye on the Warlock's pet. Look at it. It's all now it's being hit by the Hunter. They know what's up. It's down to 40% health. He's actually just going to start summoning a new one. He says, you know what? Screw it. Don't even put heals.
I really like that, actually. But that's really smart. And they're actually going to be starting out here on the Mage now. The Mage had to blink behind the pillar there. Maybe the DK, you know, is going to want to start poking in. They're obviously being pretty defensive this time around. They feel like, you know, maybe their positioning was the problem last time, so they are being pretty careful. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing this Warlock kind of pop out and try to get a little bit of damage going. You know, pop out, throw some Immolates out, do something, because I feel like this MLS could really be kind of harassing them a bit more. They're just kind of sitting back and allowing the other team to get you know, it's kind of this free damage off.
I think they heard what you said about the Sacred Cleansing. They want someone to
there's a grip on the
overextend
Mage,
it.
man. They're going to have him blink back to the pillar, but the Warlock pushing out there. He's going to throw down the Shadow Fury, get a Fear, and Bloodlust already popped here. Nice Feign Death on that Immolate. There's a Silencing Shot as well. Death Coil comes out, but there's an interrupt on that Warlock now, and the Hunter already kiting back. I feel like this is a much better start. Honestly, I want to see the Hunter just get behind the pillar at this point, just live through this Bloodlust. And AMS now popped by the DK. He's going offensive onto this Warlock. The Warlock down to 20% HP, not porting. There's a port now. He's going to relay that port back behind the pillar. He's going to be resummoning his Fell Hunter. Actually going to cancel that now, but they need to get something done with this Lust, man. They need to be out there in the middle, and the Lust is just expiring, and they're just kind of chilling back, which I think is a huge mistake.
I completely agree. If you have a gigantic cooldown like that, you certainly do not want to waste it. And they didn't even manage to kill that pet with the end of the Lust, so really bad set for our MLS. Our mage is down to 8,000 mana. That's not good for him either. And now they're just still... I don't know. That was a lot of their cooldowns, and they didn't do much with it whatsoever.
They didn't even get a deter, man. They got a trinket on the DK. That's it. AMS and stuff, but that's not even a cooldown that matters. They really got nothing, and the Shaman's trying to drink now, but he may be able to get volleyed up here. We'll see. They do stop that with a D&D, and honestly, I feel like the DK team, they shouldn't be waiting at this point. They've already forced out cooldowns. They took no damage. They need to get in there and capitalize on this now. You know, it's their turn to be aggressive. They've already lived through that Lust, and now I think that they should be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and you really don't want the Shaman to be regaining mana just through his mana per 5. But the Hunter is taking a lot of damage. At 80%, it gets put into a Shadow Fury. It catches the Paladin as well. Incinerate's coming in, as well as that Chaos Bolt. And AMZ goes down, and the Hunter was able to get inside it. He's going to disengage out of there. He's stuck inside of that deep at 70% health. He does have to Shadow Meld right there as well, still just trying to kite back. And now I really think they should go for it. They have the trinket coming up.
Oh, and especially with that port. I mean, the Warlock just relayed a port on top of himself, and now he's just getting slain by this DK. He's trying to cut away from the port, but he's down to 10% HP. He already Healthstone. He's going to fall. And oh my god, he just got slain.
We are from Circle. Come on, guys. Go in there with your Bloodlust. I really think that was their biggest mistake. You said it, and now we say it. And a little update for you guys. It is 1-0 in favor of no hacks, and that is an off-stream matchup that we are unable to cast for you guys. But if they're 1-0 right now, maybe we'll be able to cast them later. Maybe they'll make it to the finals against We Are Circle.
Really keep my team offensive, because you will kill that Shaman.
Yeah. All right, guys. Looks like both teams are going to be charging at the tomb. The Warlock does lay his port right there. He's actually going to get Chains of Ice. Throws down a Shadow Fury, catches the Paladin, and there was a Hex onto the DK. He's going to trigger that because the Warlock is down to 30%. He has to go into Demon Armor and use his Hellstone. The Death Code goes out and his Trinket. He's in a lot of trouble. Wow, what a big Nature Swiftness. And here's the Bloodlust. They're trying to get some counter pressure going. We're going to see a lot of damage going into this Hunter. I feel like he does deter it instantly, though. The Chaos Bolt from the Warlock going in. Shadow Melt from the Hunter. The Warlock still being hit pretty heavily right here, but is this Hunter going to go down? Sacrifice from the Paladin, getting that Sacred Cleansing buff up onto the Hunter, and AMZ on the Hunter as well. They really just want to keep going.
Bubble's going to be popped there as well, so they're really just trying to stay offensive here. They're just training into this Warlock, but is that the right choice? I mean, the Warlock taking a lot of damage here. The Shaman looking like he's going to be able to go into a full trap. Can they devour it? There is actually a PvP trinket immediately, so not even going to wait to see. Remember, the Paladin has no bubble, no trinket, so the next full CC chain could spell the end for Kashiis here. Kashiis down to 50% HP already. He may have to use that second deter. It does come out, but will it be enough? He's at 2% HP, dying to these dots, and the Paladin stuck in the full sheep. But, you know, at the same time, the Warlock has gone down, so it is DK Paladin versus this Mage Shaman. DK Paladin definitely should have the advantage here. I mean, this DK just needs to get on the Shaman and just kind of train him, I feel.
Yeah. I hope you guys are ready for a somewhat long game, as it is healer DPS versus healer DPS. Some damage going into the Mage right here. He gets gripped. He does blink away. Still trying to channel some Frostbolts into this DK. He's popped his Water Alley, so maybe we can see some burst right here. A counterspell onto the Paladin's cast. It was full, and now there's a deep on this DK, so maybe he's going to die here. Gets a nice big Holy Shock right there at 54% health, and he gets another Sacred Shield.
There is a full sheep, man, and that is a 10-second sheep. That isn't the 8-second one that we're used to now, and AMS about to expire here. Petsack comes out. Can they follow this up? The Shaman even getting involved with some Lava Burst and Lightning Bolts, trying to do as much as possible here. They know this is their chance, but do they have anything else for the Shaman out of that? There's a blanket CS. Do they have a deep or anything? I mean, this DK is at 10% HP. The Holy Shock comes out, but there's no CS available. He's at 14%. Can they get enough damage to finish him off? It's not looking like they're going to be able to, and that was kind of their big chance there. At the same time, there's a deep freeze, and they're still putting out as much damage as possible. AoE Sacrifice does come out. Another Holy Shock. That one's going to crit, giving him the instant flash. That should allow him to top him off, but you know, a lot of damage came out from this Mage Shaman team, so maybe was underestimating them a bit. I mean, they are you know, getting off a lot of the Sacred Shields. There's a another sheep, followed up by a half sheep there. He's blanketed. He is Lichborn healing himself as best he can, but he's running low on that runic power, and he's at 30% still.
Wow, and AMS comes up just in time. These guys from the circle, they're doing really good right now, but now the mage is, wow, big heal, big health stone. That's exactly what they needed. I was a little bit worried for him. And if you're wondering what that little frost debuff is,
the mage is under some pressure, and there's only 30 seconds left, so this is really their last chance. They have to go for a kill like right now. It's only 30 seconds left in the game where it's going to time out, and mage is going for a drink. He probably doesn't realize how much time is left in the game, and that's why it's sometimes important to track that stuff, man. Watch your buffs, because he probably has no clue the game's about to time out, and if it does, they lose.
Yep, more death coils being cast into this mage. This DK has the right idea, just tunneling as much damage as he possibly can, man. Unfortunately, they weren't able to land a kill via the shaman running at him, and he's even going for a drink right now.
That's going to be that, man. But there's 5 seconds left. It's not going to matter. Mage can't kill anyone now, and DK's going to win on damage. So, I mean, the series is going to go to the PhD. That's that.
Yep. And that is all.
I mean, look at the damage done by DK, like 5 times.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
We are from circle, let me down, man.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. We always knew that if there wasn't a kill from the H team, there's no way that they were going to win on damage. DK is going to slaughter damage. So. Oh yeah, it's actually it's based on lowest percentage, not damage done. Oh.
Yes. And since both teams landed a kill, I believe it goes to whoever got lower on the second person.
Well, the DK wins anyway then, I guess. Yeah, that's okay. Well, same team wins, but yeah, that's actually kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Okay, and also no hacks on an off-stream matchup. They were able to win, so it's cool. And love Ender. Moment. Looks like we're gonna have a Resto Shaman, I believe is the spec he's playing this time. No, he does have Lightning Shield, so I think it's triple DPS.
Yeah, they're just 3 DPS every time, I guess, which I just don't understand. I don't think this is that strong of a 3 DPS comp, but maybe they'll prove us wrong, man. But Caustica, Mystic X, and Sveka, I think it's going to be tough to take them down with 3 DPS. I mean, they're going to have to get a kill basically instantly. We'll see. There's the sap onto Mystic X. There's a cheap shot onto Caustica. The AoE sacrifice comes out immediately from Sveka here, using those cooldowns very liberally, which is exactly what he should do. Fear goes down. It's going to be Tremor. The Hodge coming out on that rogue. He's going to pop his dance, but he's already very, very low. Lust used from this Thundercleave. Lust used on both sides, actually. They're trying to get as much damage out as possible, and nice heal onto that rogue. He's going to get top back off. Caustica is still full HP as well, and they're going to swap over on a Sveka, this Paladin.
Yeah, now there's that blind. There's full dots on his Sveka. He uses his Aura Mastery. He doesn't want to be interrupted at this point. Playing Blood Elf, so he can throw a Blanket Silence onto the Priest and the Shaman if they want. But look at the Rogue's health at 39%. A Disarm goes out onto our Warrior. He is disarmed for another half second. The Rogue gonna vanish and reopen back onto Caustica. The Prot Warrior once again. Mystic X down a little bit low. Maybe if our Rogue was able to connect to him, he might have actually fallen right there. Another charge onto Zeo Pro. He gets hodged out of that. And the nice Tremor from Mystic X that gets his Paladin out of that fear. Zeo Pro still low on health. He's going to have to disperse. This triple DPS is living for a while, but I feel like they're about to run completely out of steam. Our Rogue is down to 18% health, 10%. He does cheat death. His dance is available. He's going to run behind a pillar. No, he's just going to cheap shot everybody. Nelio is back. He's going to throw that kidney, but no, he will end up falling before the Priest is able to get a flash shield off onto him. So triple DPS, man, I don't want to see them run this at all. I think they need to swap it.
I mean, it worked out kind of well, just because it was like, there's no MS, so with the 2 hybrids, they get those heals off, they can top people pretty quick, which is kind of cool, but I just feel like the rest of the Shaman version is...
The gates are about to open once again, and now they have, they're still playing that triple DPS, I believe? Let me see. No, Water Shield is circling around this Shaman. Yeah, buddy, we're in for a real game.
I'm proud of him, man.
Me too.
Watch him still be Ellie. He just pressed it. No, wait. Is he still Ellie? They still have a buff, man. He's still Ellie.
Oh, he still has Totem of Wrath. No, what? No.
He actually just pressed the wrong button, I guess.
Oh no. Well.
Oh well, whatever. Here it goes, man. Let's see what happens. Mystic X is gonna get opened up on. There's a sap on Sveka. He's trying to sit that. I can't believe he's gonna do that. There's the silence coming out, and he may just actually die. He's trying to sit the silence now too. Are you kidding me? Mystic is just gonna die, and Sveka, were you AFK? What was going on? How can you think you can sit a full sap and then a full silence against 3 DPS?
You seem so disappointed in him, man.
I am disappointed. I mean, come on. Like last game, I thought he played really well. I was like, good job, man, using those early cooldowns. That was good. And then this game, Lust is popped. And he's like, oh, I'll just sit this full sap, no problem. Okay, I'll just sit this fucking full silence, no problem. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like,
you know, they're actually staying in it. Maybe they think they have a chance. They are playing Paladin Warrior with a Prot Warrior, and it is triple DPS. I like that they stay in.
There's no MS, man. They don't have a chance.
Oh, they don't have a chance, actually. But they're going to swap over onto that rogue. He did manage to sap the Paladin. Concussion blow, he's not going to put any damage into him whatsoever. The Warrior does have full rage, if that matters. The spell coming out from the Priest. Our Warrior is at 36% health. The Paladin goes into a Fear, and that is going to be the end for this team. So, guys, based on what I've seen today, I have learned if you're going to fight triple DPS, pop a cooldown. Who's going to prevent it? Our rogue is just waddling out there. Shield is up on him. When it lasts for 30 seconds as opposed to on live where it is just 15. Paladin casting those holy lights onto our warrior. Or flashlights. I'm sorry. Swift Frost Saber by the priest. Is that the OG Frost Saber? No, that's not. I was actually so excited for a second. Paladin drinking all of his mana back that he did spend right there. And let's see.
This rogue's looking for a sap, man, so he's just going to try to get in there and probably get a sap on the Paladin again and see what they can get done. But, I mean, Demo Shout and everything knocks rogues out in Wrath, so he really has to be very careful about that. At the same time, he's going to go in and maybe get a sap just on this Shaman, but he did get dangerously close. He might actually get popped here. Now they're in combat. Shaman has gotten some purges and everything out, so not going to be able to get that sap. He's actually going to get a sap on Kostka here now, but he will get popped out. He's going to have to vanish off. And Lust is popped immediately by the 3 DPS. They're going to open up onto this Ellie Shaman in the middle of the map. Actually, no, they're just... The rogue's still in stealth. Now they're going to sap that Ellie Shaman. They're trying to get over to Sveka, I think, but this rogue needs to come out of stealth, man. He's going to open up on Sveka, and can they get an MD? He's going to have to... Wow, he's dead.
Well, nice job commentating that game, Azael. So, there's a charge from the Prot Warrior.
And I can't even blame him for that one, man.
That was a pretty big burst. Kostka gonna have to pop a shield wall here. Our Ellie Shaman's gonna try and top himself off behind this pillar. They might actually still have this. No, Fear does go out, but Kostka at 26% health. I don't believe there's any chance for him. Now at 36 thanks to last stand. Is he gonna be able to land a kill on this rogue? I don't think so. Concussion blow goes out. Hex being cast onto Mystic X. Warrior at 20%. Our rogue is gonna die here maybe, but no, the Warrior dies first. So that's gonna be a pretty quick series, man. 2-1 in favor of Babyin style.
Man, 3 DPS to stones, I guess. We're just noobs. I don't know.
We're wrong, man.
I mean...
So, oh no, I'm sorry. He's playing ARMS this game. Maybe this isn't even the same guy.
This isn't the same guy. It's not Kostka.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. Yep. I was under the impression it was the same Warlock.
Nope, different guy.
Last time.
So we'll see how these guys are going to be able to do. Kostka, I've never seen him not play Prot, so I'd be pretty surprised to see him playing MS. But anyway, this Warlock's going to be poking out there, seeing what he can get done. This Warrior's going to be starting on the Shadow Priest right away. You can see Tonka proccing instantly. A lot of spells going out. There's an MS Blade Storm right off the bat, trying to get a lot of pressure out here on the Hulk Pass. He's dimming down about half HP. Marm going to throw the Gifted Naru. Spamming out those Lesser Healing Waves as well, doing a good job keeping him topped up. Swap over onto Fnobber's, onto that Mage. And Serenity, he's going to be taking some damage here, man. He's going to have to pop in Rage Regen almost immediately.
Yeah, look at Fnobber's. Fnobber's down to 60% health. This Warrior's still trucking into him. He's unable to really get away. At 21%, he's actually going to throw in that Ice Block. Going to get some big health, but look at that Paladin. He's down to 33%. He's taking a lot of damage from the Shadow Priest alone. Remember that Mage was Ice Blocked away, taking damage from the Warrior. And now Hulk Pass, fully dotted up, has that Haunt. Apollo goes off onto the Paladin,
and there's Lust and Full Sheep onto the Paladin. And they're going to have to use some major defensive cooldowns here. They're going to be going hard onto this Warrior. The Paladin going to be sitting through that CC. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. Warrior's at 50% HP, and the Paladin did get feared there. He's going to throw out the Hodge defensively. He's going to have to probably trinket this fear, but he's sitting it, and the Warrior not using his trinket. Is he going to wall? Because he's going to be taking a lot of damage, and they just really need to live through this. And the sacrifice goes out. A Hellstone coming out from this Warrior. So far, they're doing a good job, not really burning through too many cooldowns whatsoever. But the Warrior still is just sitting at about 40% HP. And there's a full lock on the Paladin. This Warrior's going to be in a lot of trouble, perhaps.
Yeah, he's going to have to go defensive. I'd like to see him actually intervene to that pillar, but instead he's just trying to hit this mage. Mage has used his cold snap, pops icy veins once again. Water alley back out, still trying to do as much pressure as they can. Mage down to 50% health. That was when that haunt landed on the warlock. He's going to have to blink away from the warrior. Ice barrier reapplied. They're still trying to damage this warrior, but it's not working out too well for them. He's completely top. Paladin doing fine on mana. Shaman a little bit low. Looks like our warrior was going to swap over onto the Shadow Priest, but instead our Shadow Priest mage team is going to hit this warlock quite a bit. He's down to 55% HP. The Paladin goes from a blanket into another blanket. Warlock has to port away, but his port's on the opposite side of the map from the Paladin. This is not good for him. Gets in the demon armor right before that holy shock, but is that going to be enough? He's now at 50% health, completely and he finally gets the
Mage spell still that wings right away, so he's going to be able to do a lot more damage here. They did top off that guy, but Phenombros is going to have his wings. We'll see if he can get anything done. The Warrior Blade Storming on top of him, getting a lot of damage out on him. Marm is sitting at about half mana right now. Hodge coming out onto Hulk Pass, but he's going to get the fear off at the same time, so Lons is getting damaged right now by that Shadow Priest. You see that he's going to swap Beacon over onto himself. Serenity out in the middle here does get sheeped. And he's just trying to get as much damage out as he can. They're really doing some pretty good constant pressure.
Yeah, and don't forget that this Warlock is able to devour debuffs off himself, but I saw him try to get that polymorph. He was unable to get it. Full dots onto the Warlock. He's too. This is really not good for this team at this point because the Warlock is going to have to tap. The Pally's actually going to have to bubble just to try and keep him up. He knew it was a bad situation, so I agree with that. But actually, not too much pressure came from it. So maybe I don't agree with that bubble. I don't know. I'm indecisive. But the Warlock is trying to do damage onto the Mage at this point. At 9,000 mana on that Mage, spamming that Spell Steal button. It's like I'm playing on live. The Warrior does use his Spell Reflect at 60% health, now down to 48%. The Mage is still just able to turret these Frostbolts into him. The Warrior has to go into defensive stance. But no, he's back into battle, charging onto that Mage. Mage at 58% health. The Priest has to disperse for mana. He's running so low. Reapplying that Fear Ward onto the Shaman is really good, as it's so hard for this Warlock to actually be able to cast those fears onto him. Hex on the Warrior, but it gets off immediately. I believe he did have to trinket that. Yeah, he did. So the Warrior does not have a trinket inside of a Deep Freeze. Paladin going to have to use Divine Fleet as he's low on mana as well. Now our Mage taking heavy fire, put into a fear out of it now. This is not looking good for this Mage team, actually. He's just consistently low on health. But look at this Paladin. I spoke too soon. He's going to have to trinket Sacred Shield on himself. Still just trying to get away. Has to pop Freedom, running around that pillar.
Immediately, though, man, and he is in some trouble here. The Shadow Priest actually keeping a ton of damage out on him right now. And the mana, is definitely in favor of Marm. Although Phenombros is low on mana, so if they can maybe do something to him. But Lons, I'm not sure he's going to live here, man. He goes into the fear. He's at 10%. He's going to get deep, and that is going to be that for game one.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him, man. And what does the bobble icon look like? Do you actually know?
The bobble icon?
Like when you cast bobble, that little icon effect that comes up. Is that when I see the Warriors? It looks like a Serenity or something.
It's like a little red gem.
Is that what it looks like when you use it though?
I don't know, man. I don't know about the use, but that's like what the actual trinket looks like itself.
Yeah. I think they might be playing with 3 of them overall, like on their entire team, because there were points where I was like, didn't look like a heal enough, but I might be wrong. I'm a little Shaman buddy heal me up. It's really not a big deal, but the gates are now open. Doesn't look like either team is going to be charging right on in there. Both teams pretty afraid of the other team for good reasons. This Warrior's probably going to get a lot of pressure immediately on already the other team. Shadow Priest is going to be doing some damage onto the Warlock. The Warlock casting Tongues this game. I love Tongues. I think it's a very good ability. It can really change the tide of the entire battle, just that single ability. That's why on live people dislike Crisp Enfeelment so much, or Enfeelment, because it applies it to everybody, no matter what.
Oh, you've been given the go-ahead for Manly, Conrad, so let's hear it, man. Let's hear it.
Alright, guys, so we got this Warlock running around in mid right now. He's
you
not
sound like you have throat cancer now. That's not fucking manly.
This is not throat cancer. This is manly, man. I am manly radical.
You sound like one of those guys who like got throat cancer and then they had to get the hole in their neck, but they kept smoking anyway. So you just had like the cigarette like shoved in that hole in your neck, and now you're commentating.
Yeah, that's not what happened, man. I'm sorry, you're definitely wrong. And I can't host the call either because I'm super lagging myself. I have bad internet, but already this Warlock going to get that corruption in on there. Warrior charging right on in. Going to be trying to hit this mage. He does have his sword and board out. I'd like to see him swap to a two-hander. Going to throw that spell reflect back up. Then he's going to blade storm. He does have his two-hander out for that, but people just blinking away. This blade storm doing absolutely nothing. That's not looking good for this Warrior Warlock Paladin team. Warrior caught inside of a frostbite, and he gets frostbitten off of that. Still trying to connect to the shaman, but he's unable to.
Keep going, man.
No, I don't want to.
Alright, there's a trinket into a disarm onto the Warlock Croc. Going to be taking quite a bit of damage here. Going to pop his Hellstone. Maybe want to go into Demon Armor here as he is in some trouble. But I mean, Sacred Shield goes up and it's looking like he's probably going to be okay. Deep Freeze coming out though, and maybe now regretting not getting any Demon Armor before that. CS going to be used on Phenombers, but I do believe it missed. And Spam Dispel's coming out on Croc, and Croc still in some trouble, man. Just been sitting around half HP for quite some time. They do have some good pressures out on this Mage, though. The Mage is going to have to blink behind the pillar, trying his best to get out of there. Hulk pass at the same time, just kind of chilling in the middle, getting full dots up on Croc. Croc now going to pour it out of there, trying to go for the resummon on the Fell Hunter. Looks like he's going to get it. And I mean, at the same time,
But
they're going
look
to be
at the
swapping.
Warrior. They're swapping back over onto the Warrior. He triggers that deep. That's good for him. He intervenes right on out of there. I think he needs to because he's at 39%. He pops into battle stance. Does that spell flick back up. The Warlock's still in trouble. He's going to have to throw out some Crushed Tongues onto that Mage. Try and peel for his team a little bit because they are so far behind. Everybody low on health. Flash of lights going out. The Warrior still at 45%. Puts that spell flick back up. He's going to have to try and get on out of there. Death going in. There's a Hex onto that pallet on the Warlock. But the Warrior's still in trouble. His shield wall has been used. It's going to fade relatively shortly. A fear goes down onto the Paladin. Is this the end for this Warrior? Can he manage to live?
You sound like you're dying, man. Serenity X at 40%. Lance is going to be swapped over to, though. He's going to have to Sacred Shield himself, but the Warrior's still very, very low. Maybe going to have some trouble picking them both up, though. Nice swap on Beacon, but it does get dispelled almost immediately, and now he's going to be put into the Sheep. He's going to have to bubble that because Serenity X is in so much trouble. Can he get these heals up? They need to stop the MD. The MD comes out, but I believe it resisted. I'm not sure. No, it actually did land, but Holy Light going to get off, top him off, and Hulk Pass going to have to go into the Dispersion. He's at 60%, catches a big heal, though, from Marm. Going to get him top back off, and now the Paladin pretty much tapped on cooldowns. Next CC chain really could spell the end here for his team. Serenity X, though, doing some good pressure. He is still staying pretty aggressive, and this Paladin's doing a good job with his positioning. He's LOSing most, if not all, the cast, and Phenombers now going to have to block at 20% HP. Shattering Throw coming in. It does remove it. The MS, though, was not up for that heal, and he is going to get topped off.
That was quite a big heal that came in from Marmex. Our Shaman doing quite fine on mana, actually doing better than the Paladin, surprising to see. Look at the Shadow Priest. He's taking damage at 57%. No Disperse available for him for quite some time. Make that 28 seconds to be exact. Lesser Healing Wave gonna land onto him. Picks it back up to 58. But a Spell Lock onto the next heal. This Priest is in a lot of trouble. This Warrior's Blaze Storm catching up to him right now. He throws out the Disarm, but it didn't actually manage to do much at all. And now there's the Hex onto the Warlock. That's gonna alleviate some pressure, but this Warrior still going to be able to do quite a bit as long as he's able to connect to his target. Our Paladin been doing a great job keeping him cleansed, allowing him to do as much as he wants this game, but he gets feared into the open. Frostbite on him, then a Polymorph. All looking good for this team, man. Our Shadow Priest taking a lot of damage with full dots from this Warlock coming in. He's going to have to disperse once again.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. And Phenombers, is losing some mana here. He's at about 89%, but Hulk Pass really is the one under most of the pressure right now. No MS up, though. So he's going to get top back off, and Croc going to be thrown into that Fear. Looks like he's not in LS. The Paladin does catch a Dispel at the end of the Fear. And now Polymorph trying to come out here. It is onto Serenity X. He's going to actually trinket that because there's a lot of debuffs up. And he's trying to stay offensive. Croc is going to get thrown into the Hex. He's going to trigger that as well. So 2 trinkets used in quick succession. Lons does have his trinket back, but he's the only one left on the team with one. Marm just seems to be able to get a lot of free casting off, though. I mean, he gets that Lesser Healing Wave out. He gets up the Gift of Naru. So Hulk Pass looking like he will be okay for now. The real worry, though, is just his mana.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to really get that much mana back. It's all from the disperses. I guess you don't really want to drink because you want to apply as much pressure as you possibly can to the other team at all times. He might actually go for one right here. Yeah, he is going to sit down for that drink in his mage food, so he's going to be healing him as well, but he wasn't that low on health anyway. But look at Marm at 50% already, gets put into an Intercept Sun, into a Death Quill. The Priest is going to have to start healing, and he is. Really nice job there from our Priest. Nature Swiftness heal goes off, brings our Shaman up just a little bit at 80% health, now at 73, still trying to top himself. Deep Freeze goes off onto the Warrior. 64%. He was almost topped when he went into that. He's going to have to get right on out of there. Still trying to do as much damage as he can. They need to actually swap some pressure over onto this priest. That's what they're doing at 46% already, being topped up by the shaman. Looks like he should be okay for now. They're doing so much damage into this warrior, man. It's looking good for this team for sure. Sacred Shield on him once again, and now a Disperse from the Priest. So they've forced a lot of cooldowns here. The Shaman String is coming back up in 12 seconds, but is it going to last that long? Warrior down to 44%. They need to land a counterspell into the Paladin. They actually did right there. That was really good by our Mage. Our Warrior's at 50%. Going to have to intervene, or I'm sorry, charge over onto this pillar. Probably going to want to line of sight the Mage at this point.
Yeah, I mean, Serenity actually is in some trouble here, but like you said, he might want to start LOSing. He does have a freedom. He's kind of chilling out right there with his sword and board. Lance is in a full sheep, though, and Serenity X is in a lot of trouble here. He might just go down, man. He's at 20% HP. He's going to be able to get a bit of a heal there, but 30%. He's in disarm 5%. He's going to go down, and it is going to be a 2-0, but some really good games, man. The 2-0 really not reflecting, how well played that series was.
Yeah, and so there are some people saying that the stream is lagging. If it is lagging for you, just go ahead and refresh, and it should be completely fixed. It happened to me, and now it's fine.
Could you yell, snap into a Slim Jim? You know that commercial?
Alright, so the gates have opened now. We're going to be watching our PhD versus Kostka, Mystic X, and Svetka. Kostka playing that Prot Warrior, I believe, as he does have a shield out. Mystic X, the Ellie Shaman, and Svetka, the Holy Paladin. So already our Prot Warrior is going to be charging in onto our DK Love Ender. Just some pillaring going on for now. Looks like there's our shockwave going off onto that team, trying to get as much pressure out as they can. Kashi taking most of the damage from Kostka, but look at Mystic X at 80%, a strangling onto Svetka, and a stun onto Mystic X. Svetka trying to pick up Mystic X a little bit more, and he looks to be completely fine for now. And I believe I just saw a trinket, but nope, that was not, unless my UI is bugged, but I did reload it. There's a silence onto Love Ender. I'm sorry, a slam onto Love Ender. Big damage going out onto him. He's going to have to Bone Shield once again, trying to kite away, but it's not looking good for him at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he is definitely taking a lot of damage. Kostka, though, trying to do his best to stay offensive here, and the Lust is pop, man. They're going to try to get something going. Will the stun come in on Kashi? Kashi is at about half HP. The AoE sacrifice, though, coming out from Feeling Cute, trying to do his best to keep his team topped off, and Kostka actually going to be forced to shield wall with the sacrifice up during that Lust. So, I mean, he's having to kind of go defensive here, really not able to get that pressure out that they're hoping for with that Lust whatsoever.
You know, the Lust did help them pick him back up, though. That is fortunate because they took so much damage. Kashi now at 51%. He gets disarmed right there. That means he's unable to deterrence at this point in the game.
Yeah, and Feeling Cute did actually trinket that stun, man. He's now in a full fear, so maybe they can get something done.
Yeah, and there's a deterrence coming out for him. He was a little bit worried right there. I do agree with that. Also, you do have 2 when you play that Hunter class. So now, wow, Feeling Cute. Wow, that was insane burst. I'm actually going to have to alt-tab and watch that once again. I have no idea what just happened to him, man.
Man, Ellie Shaman Warrior, if you get the crits, it's like pretty insane at times. They can really have some insane bursts, man, and that's kind of what makes the Thundercleave so strong.
All right, well, adios, muchacho. We're going to have to queue you back up once again.
Yeah.
And do you have an announcement?
Yeah, I actually have to go, guys. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm actually going to have to go. So I'm not sure if Reckful's going to take over for me or what's going to happen, but I have to depart, unfortunately. But I'll be back tomorrow for the commentary for sure. And enjoy commentating, Conrad. And thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
Reduces damage by 20% every single time it's up until all the charges have worn out. But already our warrior is going to be charging in onto the Death Knight. Gonna throw that spell effect up as well. Throws a shockwave out. That's gonna stun the DK. The DK down to 55% already. A hex on the Paladin followed by a concussion blow. So the Death Knight's in a lot of trouble at 19%. Our Paladin gonna have to use his trinket. There's the Bloodlust. Let's see if they can do anything with this. A stun goes out onto the Death Knight at 68% health, but our warrior taking some pressure as well. Up to 90% though. Some big heals going off into him. This LA Shaman just able to turret all day, though. I think they might want to swap over onto him, not let him free cast, because look at him just going to town. This Death Knight down to 12%. He's catching big damage. AMZ goes out as well as Pet Sack, and now he has to reapply that Bone Shield. Our Paladin being swapped to at 43%. He's going to have to bubble, going to try and run away, pick himself back up, but no, he's going to stay out there because of that bubble, able to pick up his Death Knight. But the swap over onto the Hunter, he's going to have to feign death. He's trying to run on out of there. Master's Call on him. They're doing some pressure, but it's actually not too much whatsoever, man. I really feel like this team is just playing a losing battle right here.
Yeah, so much pressure so far from the Warrior LA team. They've gotten every target low. DK's been forced to use everything, got knocked out of his AMZ. I thought they were going to kill him there, and they didn't, but they did force bubble. Everyone is sitting at full now, though. That trap does not land on Mystic.
And our Warrior has decided to charge over onto the Hunter. Hunter down to 50%. The Paladin is going to have to use his wings right here because the Hunter is so low. 18%. He needs to try and get away here, man. But he doesn't have any way to do that. No disengage, no deterrence or anything like that. The trap goes off, but he shadow melts and nothing comes of it. He will end up falling. And now this Death Knight is just open. He's up for grabs. It's a Death Knight buffet. All shamans and prot warriors eat free.
Death Knight buffet.
Is that not a real expression?
Oh, it's real, it's real.
So it's 2-0 in favor of Rusty as Hell, guys. They're doing pretty well. I like them. I like their name too, Rusty as Hell. They're like me for Wrath.
Except when someone dies. Okay, go ahead.
So he's coming out. Looks like he's going to try and get a sap off onto the Paladin. The Warlock is going to be hellfiring on the Paladin, though. It's going to make it really hard to actually land that sap. The Warlock pet's going in, too, but the sap does land onto the Paladin. Already the Rogue starting off onto the Warlock. He does get put from a cheap shot into a Grope like a Silas as well, down to 40%. The Paladin coming out of the sap, but a disarm on the Paladin at the same time. Hellstone from the Warlock at 22%. Going to throw that Death Coil onto the Rogue. He's taking so much damage. His Paladin has now decided to bubble, but it does get Matt dispelled off, I believe. Yeah, it is off of him. Warlock has to be bopped right there. The Warrior being swapped to 45% health, still in a lot of trouble. Paladin, now he's gonna die instead. No, he Hellstones, a good fear from the Warlock. There's just so much pressure going on, but let's look at the Shadow Priest at 12% and he will die. A cross kill. We have 2 DPS versus 2 DPS. Who will win? Ellie Shaman Rogue versus Warrior Warlock. Only time will tell. Our Rogue is going to be hitting the Warlock, but he's going to be being trucked by the Warrior. I feel like this Rogue is just going to die. He does get healed by the Shaman a little bit there, but now it's just an LA Shaman versus 2 DPS. I think that's over, man. And it is.
That was a good job.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I probed the camera up. The Pally was about to, like... It looks like he is playing, though, so I'm not sure. Okay, Rogue did stealth. Looks like Rogue's moved very slow in Wrath Lich King in stealth. So he's going to walk over. He's going to waddle over. He sees the Hellfire going on. He's talking to his priest. He's lagging, but he uses his sprint. Does the last 15 seconds in Wrath. Throws a distract out. Looking for that sap. Looks like they're in combat. He's cheesed. He opens up on the lock. Some big damage. Vanishes immediately onto the Warrior. Big damage in this cheap shot. Into a kitty. He trinkets into a disarm and dies. Pretty sure you cannot dismantle while shield while dismantle in this. So very nice.
What? You did it.
Very nice of him.
Great job solo commentating, man. You had that.
Well, if it's a Rogue, I can do it. If it's any other class, I don't know. I don't remember other classes in Wrath.
Yeah. I'm in 1. This is a very important game. Alright, so out of the gates, this Rogue, let's see if he's going to be able to open up and get a sap this time, because last time the Warlock pet got in combat, the Warlock health funneled it, and then the Paladin was able to...
He did get a sap onto the Paladin. Cheap shot onto the Warlock, followed by a Garrote, into a kidney. Does trinket the kidney and port and use Healthstone.
But the Paladin...
Rogue chasing, he looks like he's going to kill him back here. He does get howled. No trinket. Trinkets into the coil. Coming into the coil now, prep vanish. The Paladin's getting so low, cheap shot, and that goes down. Disperse used by the Shadow Priest. Will they be able to go cross kill? Probably not. The Warlock is into a full bind with no trinket.
Yeah, man. I think this is probably just going to be over for them, as they only have 2 DPS to kill, and they have 3.
And they just...
So yeah, the They will just end up leaving that game.
And that
So
will
it's
be
gonna
a 2-0 for the 3 DPS. You know, not nicely played, I think.
Another 2-1 in the group. That's
I think one thing I could point out is that the Warlock, he howled him and then coiled his trinket, right? I think it's better to coil and then howl their trinket, because they do trinket coil in that situation when it's 3 DPS and the person's at 20%.
you are being spammed with interruptful in the chat.
Oh, sorry guys. I didn't mean to interrupt him.
No, it's not. It's Ellie's Shadow Priest
Okay,
Paladin.
I knew it wasn't triple DPS Conrad, goddammit.
Yeah. I couldn't, man. So Ellie Shaman Paladin versus PhD Death Knight Hunter Paladin. We're gonna see a lot of off heals going off, that's for sure. Death and Decay goes down. Make sure that the other team can't drink from the little mana they've spent. A rough situation for our triple healer team. I think I'm probably gonna call them triple healer just because they can
Looks like a
triple
Hex
heal.
will come out right away on the Death Knight. No way to dispel Hex for this PhD. But not much pressure out from F number yet.
And the Death Knight is going to be starting off onto Hulk Pass at 86% health right now. A Hodge goes out onto Fantastics, the Paladin. He's down to 48%, man. He's in a little bit of trouble. He gets silenced, but it was too late. A really big heal went off, but no, he's still taking damage. Gets that Sacred Shield buff up on himself, but Hulk Pass low on health and Marm low on health. 55% on Marm, Hulk Pass at 78%. So a lot of pressure going back and forth from both teams, really.
Had that
No
silence
blood
not
loss.
been delayed after the stun, he would have had to bubble. A big mistake, in my opinion. Also, the Death Knight already did use AMS, but probably it's coming up in about 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Oh no, man, it's all you, baby. A scatter shot goes up onto Fnaber. There was no trap that was going to come out of that, as well as a grounding totem, so I guess no trap even if he wants it. He's going to put down all of his totems in that area. Hulk Pass down to 78. Nope, gets picked up quite easily. And we're really going to have to wait for the big cooldowns to come out. I feel like that's when a kill's going to be landed. As long as they can get a Hodge on a Fantastics, then they might be able to force a bubble.
There's heroism. Let's see if they can make something happen with that.
Well, let's see if they're going to do it here, man. Hunter has used his deterrents already. Hulk Pass still low on health, also hurting on mana just a little bit. It looks like they really just want to hit the Hunter. I would love to see a big Fear onto the Paladin and then swap over onto him. A Hodge onto the Hunter, but our Priest wasn't even able to hit him, so that is all the Ellie Shaman doing all that damage onto the Hunter. He's going to Shadow Melt out of that, and not too much damage going out with this Heroism. And now they're still just trying to hit the Shadow Priest, stop him from getting those dots up. Overall, that Heroism didn't do much at all for this team. Big Fear was out on the Fantastics, though. They might just set up on him out of here. Nope, they're still just trying to hit the Hunter. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to get a kill on him, dude.
Well, you never know with Ellie Shaman Burst, but we'll see.
Priest did use his Disperse there for mana as he was relatively low. Fnaber's taking a little bit inside of that Hodge. He's going to have to tring it as he was behind the pillar. He wanted to get back out, allow his Paladin to heal him up. Gift of the Naru use as well at 77% health.
It looks like the Hunter decided to SQ a little bit. Now we do have the Priest taking some heat here. He's going to walk around the pillar here to try to get out of the loss of the Hunter. He does get a shackle on the Death Knight /point. Big mistake out of the Death Knight. Back to
And he actually just has to sit behind that pillar. Hunter taking a little bit of damage. 55% health inside of that Hodge. It is ending now. The silence onto the Paladin out of that. Hunter in a little bit of trouble. He actually disengages out of that AMZ. He's going to run and get back inside it. The Lava Burst came in. I believe it was AMZ absorbed for quite a bit because his health didn't spike terribly much right there. At 73% health at this point. Our Paladin is at 66,000 mana. Our Ellie Shaman at 96,000. Our Shadow Priest at 12,000. And our Holy Paladin much higher.
Well, the Paladin gets so low he has to bubble.
Yeah.
No MD will be coming out though.
That was pretty big burst.
Now it's switching on to the Hunter into the disarm. He's gonna die right there in the disarm. Told you. That Ellie Shaman burst, even though it looks like he might not kill the Hunter at any point, could die in one disarm. I like how I threw in the told you so.
Yeah.
And as we see, F number did tell the damage meter even above a Death Knight. Death Knights are very powerful.
So Breaking Bad's
Breaking
going up
Bads.
1-0, man, against Endless Summer. And that's That's about what I'd expect. Oh, the gates have opened, man.
Yeah, I'm already in there.
Here we go.
I guess I will. Do I have to reload? I think it's going to work just fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I have to reload?
We're running. Yes.
All right.
It's okay. No damage has gone out yet. Absolutely zero damage. Just in the case that some damage has gone out, but no real pressure. Looks like they're going to be hitting the Ellie Shaman this game. Is who the Hunter and the Death Knight are targeting. But no, Death Knight's actually going to be hitting the Shadow Priest. The Fear goes out. It does manage to land on Fantastics. They might want to set up on him, and he's in the middle of the map. But no, nothing will go on to him. Ellie Shaman wasn't a silencing shot there. He's out of it now. He tried to get a Hex off. Looks like he wasn't able to. But the Hunter is popping damaging cooldowns into Phenobbers. He did use his Rapid Fire as well. Phenobbers at 87% health. Rom doing a great job keeping him topped. And I believe this is actually going to be a split DPS game. No, instead they will finally both be attacking the same target. It is going to be the Shadow Priest of Hulk Pass. Hulk Pass down to 58% already. There's a nice Thunderstorm from our Ellie Shaman. It's going to knock the Hunter out of range. Knock him out of line of sight of the Shadow Priest. Unable to really connect here.
We did see the Gargoyle getting very little attacks off. It was shackled, and then they did LOS around the pillars, so less cooldowns forced from the Death Knight team. Death Knight forced less cooldowns from the other team than he would have liked. He is LOSing now, trying to decide who he wants to go on. Heroism is popped by the Ellie Shaman team. Huge damage to the Hunter, and he goes down.
Wow, Wrath of the Lich King burst. The silence on the Paladin. He didn't use his bubble, his block. Yeah, no, his bubble or his trinket, and he managed to let the Hunter die. We keep seeing these Paladins do this. I guess they just aren't expecting the burst, but these are Ellie Shaman teams, man.
Yeah, actually, I used to play an Ellie Shaman in level 80 TR. It was pretty fun. There's one time I lost on my rogue to the best Beast Cleave on the US.
The Warlock is going to be a gnome for this game. Reminds me of the good old days of TBC when people weren't able to race change or anything, so they were just stuck. I think you could faction change. I don't think you could race change. But, alright. Mystic X might be taking a little bit of damage. Curse of Tongues going up onto him. I love it when I see Warlocks use Curse of Tongues. Lions is put into a full Hex right there. Croc X is taking most of the damage from this. Gets put into a Shockwave. Koska down to 80% health. He just intervenes and charges. Wow, he's on the other side of the
flying around the map.
Yeah, they're going to be hitting Lawns. Lawns is going to be able to top himself just fine.
Ellie Shaman getting really low on this Death Coil. Mystic X. Will he go down? There's a blanket onto this. Oh, after the blanket, he does top him.
There's a big top right there. Croc X still taking, I'm so sorry, a little bit of damage. 66% health put into that Shockwave. And now our warrior is going to charge back and forth all over the map. Croc X at 48%. I don't know, man. They need to get some more pressure going. Has Bloodlust gone out yet?
Don't think so. It looks like... oh my god, huge damage onto Caustica. But will be healed in a moment, I think, right now.
He's going to charge over onto
Oh
Lawns
no, he's still not healed.
Into a super DR'd Shockwave. Koska's still at 52% health.
I have no idea how they let him stay low that long. That was strange.
And this Warlock is just tunneling as much damage into him as he possibly can. He was even doing some drained lives right there. But Koska still low on health. Hasn't been able to be topped. Our Paladin's completely fine on mana. Should probably top him relatively soon. Shockwave onto the Warlock. He is out of it though. Sacred Shield on him as well. Koska gonna intervene onto... charge over onto Lawns.
Lawns is getting pretty low here, but I think he should be able to top himself, although...
Wow!
Ooh, Croc is sitting pretty low, just life tapped. If you're gonna swap it back to Croc, and he's gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, he's completely He needs to life tap.
There's a Hex on the Pally. He does trinket. Croc does pour it back.
His pet's getting low too. I think the Warrior's gonna try and kill it right here, which is gonna be very good for them.
Gets a health funnel on it.
If they can stop the Feldom, interrupt it, they're in good position, but instead they're gonna swap over to Lawns XX at 30% health. And he's gonna have to bubble as he wasn't a concussion blow. It's all you, man.
Okay, well, things are going to slow down here for a little bit until that bubble fades. Croc X should be fine. Does life tap right there. Gets topped right after. We need some counter pressure from Croc X. He just hasn't been able to get anything out. This Crow Warrior is sitting on it with the gag orders and all that. Croc X at 40%. Back up to 80. Mystic getting a little low. Looks like they're going to swap it over to him. Let's check him out. He does get an Earthbound route onto him as it is intervened as his teammate flies across the mount.
Wow, that is next level play. Mystic X puts himself in position to be intervened to so the warrior can intervene and then charge onto the warlock's port. That's so smart. He does it instantaneously. Looks like they might try and kill the pet once again. It is down to 42% health.
Kashiis getting so low here. Huge burst from him. Does have to shield wall.
Svetka down to 65% health as well. He needs to top both himself and his warrior back off.
Lons is going for a drink, but Croc getting so low. Was that a mistake? Health Stone is used by Croc. But now Kostica and Svetka sitting very low. Which one's going to be the target? 40%. Svetka will get around LOS and heal up.
Yeah, Lonzex was in a fear there. He does manage to get out of it now. Still trying to top his team off. Kostica is the one that's low, though. Svetka still trying to top. I'm going to have to use some cooldowns.
Sack used onto Kostica, yeah.
There's a shockwave going out onto Serenity. Serenity popping his cooldowns onto Kostica. Kostica, the prop warrior. I think they might just want to swap off of him. Maybe put a big burst into the paladin. Big burst going into our warlock. It looks like he's just spamming that tongues, though, really preventing this Ellie Shaman from doing everything he'd like. Ellie Shaman taking damage. Kostica taking damage. Svetka going to have to divine plea right here. So that means his heals are going to be a little bit weaker. Croc X at 62% health, put into a full Hodge. He doesn't have Trinket available, but I don't know if I agree with Hodging him, because he wasn't really doing that
so
much.
low. He's just having no fun. He's just sitting low the whole time.
Still at 47% health. The Warlock pet is still taking damage.
Svetka dying too. It looks like he might go down. He's trying to get around. He freedoms. He will get away. But now, swap onto Kostica. He's getting so low too. Sorry to keep cutting you off, but we both have these little moments of
Svetka at 43% health, still trying to pick himself up. Kostica at 54.
Mystic, but it's all over to Mystic now. He's getting Blade Storm on. He's not having any fun. He does Thunderstorm them away. He gets bopped at 27%. A good save. Lava Burst coming out of him. Let's see if he can get some pressure out. Needs some counter pressure. When you fall behind on these against these Affliction Lock teams, it just seems like it's really hard to catch up because they rot you all.
The Warlock does not have a pet at this point. No pet and no Feldom. His Feldom comes.
He's gonna start casting it right now.
About a minute.
No, he doesn't. Okay, he's not even gonna worry about it. I thought he was gonna cast it for his pet right there. He's trying to get a hell on the pally. It looks like, but he's gonna die in this concussive blow.
He was actually trying to get away to get that pet off. There's the Howl of Terror right there, but it didn't actually do much. Tungsing Mystic X because he's able to just turret into him. He's taking a lot of damage here, man. This may be the end. It's all up to Serenity X to get the pressure going in his favor. But look at Kostica. He's taking so much damage. 57% health. Lons X fine on mana. Croc X still low on health. Svetka fine on mana. Mystic X
going for it, but he's not gonna get it. Gets shocked. Mystic's still taking heat. And topped now. Kostica forever sitting at 70-ish%. Finally at 80. I think it's all over for Croc X. He's just gonna die here.
Yeah, he doesn't have a pet. 24% health. He even gets rooted.
Port should be up there. It's Port. He might try to cast his summon now, but oh, maybe. Oh. No, I think that Shaman's gonna get there to shock him.
Coming in for this.
And here's the end of Croc X. A nice recovery by. It looked like Mystic X's team was behind for a while. They had two players sitting around 50% for a large portion of the game with Croc X's team all full, but when that pet did go down, Croc X just got tunneled. I think we do this
quickly. I have no idea if you're actually typing reload.
Yeah,
Seems like it went by too fast.
Okay, let's have a conversation here. Looks like Kostica's gonna go in right onto Croc.
Interrupted. I'm doing the U. All right. So Croc X is down to 65% health already. He's going to have to jump off. He does have his port available to him. Looks like no one's going to chase him. He wants to be healed up before porting because if you port and you're still on low health, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Health funneling his pet because it is taking some damage at this point. Mystic X at 98% health. He's not taking much damage. It looks like he's who they're trying to hit. Full Intimidating Shout onto him. And now they're going to set up on him after that. But no, a Spell Reflect on that Haunt from Croc X, so he's not going to be doing 20% more damage. Instead, it will just hit him for a little bit and do absolutely nothing else out of that. Kostica is at 83% now. He did use his Shockwave right there. Croc X taking a little bit of damage from this Ellie Shaman. No Bloodlust has been popped yet. Croc X is still at 70%. Casting the Steering Pains. Kostica taking a lot of damage inside of that Death Coil. Already used his spell to drain life, and he does have to use his shield wall. Lons X just completely flops, man. That was so surprising. That was something you could have just interrupted me completely all out for.
Yeah, I should have interrupted you.
Yeah.
I kind of did. 2 seconds after, I was like, "You're talking about Kashiis' HP." Lons was dead, but it's cool. Cam is off. We're gonna go ahead and be following F Nobbers out of the gates. F Nobbers won every game so far. He likes winning. He's gonna go ahead and try to win again.
Dude, we got a caster cleave set up right here.
Strong Storm really enjoying that back middle key.
Versus
Looks
Shadow
like knowing fear onto F Nobbers there, but does get trimmered out. Oh, so Marm having no fun so far.
Pressure going into Biohazard right here, it looked like, but no, they did manage to poly Fnobbers right when he was trying to pop his damage, and then they get a fear on him. Marm's still in a little bit of trouble. This Warlock is playing Destruction, so he's going to have very high burst here. They are going to, looks like his target is going to be Fnobbers once again. That is the Frost Mage on the team. The Shadow Priest is trying to do pressure really, but Strong Storm doing a great job of shutting it down, man.
Hey, Athene, you sound a lot like Conradical right now. Just thought you'd want to know. But it looks like a nice triple Shadow Fury there. Fear on F Nobbers is dispelled. I mean, yeah.
Look at that, a Deep Freeze on a Strong Storm. He's going to have to trigger that late. He also, I believe that is Bobble. I'm almost 100% certain that's Bobble at this point. Throws down the Tremor Totem to get his teammates out of that fear from the Priest. Fnobbers taking a lot of damage. A really big heal went off right there, though. Fnobbers still at... Okay, well, he's topped up now. Not too much pressure going out. Shadow Fury was used onto the Priest, but that was just it. He also is going to be using his Dispel. He wants to get those Immolates off of himself. Shadowburn used on him. Life Tap from the Warlock. He wants to keep his mana up. One thing we've seen a lot of teams do whenever I commentate these tournaments is that the Warlocks will forget about their mana, and then they'll be hurting on health, and they'll have to Life Tap. That's not the situation.
Looked like Hulk Pass did kill the Tremor there and try to get a Fear, but our other Shaman, Strong Storm, did manage to get his redrop Tremor right before the Fear, so good job by him. Shadow Fury onto Hulk Pass, into a Fear. Marm getting a little low. Might be in trouble, but does probably going to get around here. Does use heroism.
His bloodless.
Yeah, he had used heroism a little bit defensively, but maybe they could get some counter pressure with it, which would be nice. Go ahead.
I think that's what they're trying for, because Strong Storm has he has started drinking. He is away. Biohazard letting his health or mana get a little bit low. Hulk Pass has to use his Disperse because he was taking so much damage. Fnobber's low on health too at 66%. Let's see if this Frostmane is actually going to be able to get a kill. He does get a Frostbite proc onto Fnobbers. Looks like he got shocked on that Frostbolt though. And there was a Deep Freeze onto Hulk Pass. He's going to get polyed out of that. He is unable to get Dispel because Shamans do not have Dispel in this game. They only have Decurse, and I think it's Poisons or something else like that. But both heroisms have expired. I think we may be in for a somewhat long game, especially because Hulk Pass is going for the mana burns onto Eskolak the Mage.
Looks like he is trying to push up onto Strong Storm. Does get Sheep though. Deep onto Hulk Pass. Marm getting very low. Gonna swap it over to him. He's trying to get around here, but is open once more. Does finally get around.
Is it another deep onto Biohazard? Looks like they are going to be able to land the Polymorph out of that. Fnobber is going to be taking the damage from this Mage, but no, he gets shocked on that. Strongstorm taking a lot of damage at 40% health. This health just spiking. A Bobble, Hellstone. There's a Stoneclaw Totem. There's a Tremor to get his teammates out of the fear. He does get interrupted though, I believe.
No, that was a blanket. That was just a blanket. Oh,
no,
maybe you're right. Maybe you're right, because Anis did not go off until just now.
Now he's at 53% health. He has to pick himself back up. Looks like he's okay, but no, he gets put into a deep. They really need to peel for him right here. Need to get a Fear on the Priest, a Poly on the Mage, something like that.
I think it's fine. They have no more stuns for him now. He should be fine. Looks like they're trying to get some counter pressure out. Chaos Bolt is coming out. Onto F Nobbers. He tries to blink out of it, but it does land. Yeah, did you say ow? It did hurt.
No, he went from 100% to 40% actually, instantaneously.
Yep.
Biohazard at 88% health. Looks like he's going to try and heal his pet, but no, his pet does end up going down. He uses Feldom. He does not get interrupted on it. Okay, that was very scary for them at that point because he actually had Feldom for like half a second before he actually used it. I thought for sure he was going to get interrupted. Fnobber's taking
he life tapped and pressed Feldom right away, so he was still on global.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call.
You're welcome.
This is a Fear from the Priest. Looks like Biohazard is going to end up triggering that because Strong Storm was sitting at full 2. There was no Tremor available. Hulk Pass going to be taking a little bit of damage right here. Still just trying to dispel his teammates, so they don't want any debuffs out. Remember, he is able to dispel his mage and his shaman out of those polymorphs, as well as removing immolates and corruptions.
We'll be following Fnobbers here. Looks like he's going to get some pressure out onto the other mage. The other mage is does use his mana gem there, and a frost ward, and a slow fall to protect his frost ward.
You know, they're doing a good job. Fnobbers taking a lot of damage here. Well, now he's at 92%. Big heals coming in. I believe that was Bobble as well from Marm X. Hex goes out on a strong storm. It is decursed by Escalax almost instantaneously. Very nice job. He's going to try and get a Hex of his own. It is on the Fnobbers. Marm X wants to dispel him out. He does manage to get him. There was a counterspell on the Hulk Pass right there. Hulk Pass hurting on mana just a little bit. Both healers completely fine. This game does have 5 minutes and 34 seconds remaining if it happens to go to that point. Shadow Fury on the Hulk Pass. It's going to interrupt him for a little bit. He does have the Earth Shield now. They believe he's going to be taking most of the damage. He's going to get feared though, but Trevor Totem was down for Morm X, so he just gets out of that instantaneously. He's going to be put on DRs for fear.
Ashlock did go for an Evo there, did get one tick and then get CS, but he's looking fine on mana now. Hulk Pass getting a little low on mana.
If you're going to go for a fear, you want to make sure there's no Tremor Totem down, because you don't want a DR for absolutely no reason. I feel like that's all that he really did there. Marmek still really struggling to get the Hex out. Actually, he's having a little Hex war with Strongstorm right now, which is very interesting to watch. He did manage to get it, though. So, nice job there. Dot's going out on a Strongstorm. He's going to have to sit inside of a full fear. He's out now. Throws that Earth Shield up on himself and a Riptide. Looks like he's going to be taking a little bit of damage. This team doing a great job making sure not too much goes into him. But there's a deep
Strongstorm taking a lot of damage. I wonder if
does
this team is going to try to
have-
turn around on Hulk Pass, because he did disperse for mana, but it doesn't look like they're thinking about that right now. They're mostly playing defensively. If this game does time out in 4 minutes, it will go... so far, it will go to Fnobber's team, because they did get a target lower. As you can see here, they got someone to 26%. That's how this works. The other team only got someone to 36%. Go ahead.
Oh man, not too much going on right now at this point. Maybe Bloodlust could be coming up soon. I'm not entirely sure what the timer is for that. Fnobbers is at 68% health. Uses Cold Snap, which means he does have another Ice Block available. Mana Bird gets counterspelled right there onto Hulk Pass, and he's actually just stabbing Strongstorm. They might actually try to do some damage into him as he was put inside that deep. He's being dotted up fully now. Askalex is trying to conjure a mana gem to be able to do more pressure. Strongstorm gets...
Strongstorm taking so much damage here. Into his silence. Does drop a grounding. Looks like he might get away.
Fall here. Nature's Swiftness, he's at 50% health. Uses that Riptide, still trying to cast that Lesser Healing Wave. He got
shocked on that heal!
At 34% health.
Oh my god, gets a healing wave. Gets out of 4% there. Lesser heal.
He needs to land a kill, otherwise they are just guaranteed to lose at this point. Even if the game times out, he's dropping a grounding, still trying to get away. He's still in a lot of trouble though. He gets put into a full deep. I think this is the end for him. 43% health. Can this team peel enough for him? I don't know, man. And oh my goodness, at 1%.
Shocked at 1%, and he will go down. That was insane. They did actually have really good peels during the deep, but they had a long series of interrupts on him there before that, and then that shock at 1% too. I actually like this rule with whichever team got the other team lower percent. It'd be pretty cool to see that rule instead of the top damage done.
We saw that on the 2v2.
Yeah, I'm just saying, pretty cool to see that rule on. Hey, what the fuck is this? Okay. Oh, no, oh, sorry about that, guys. No, it looks like we will be following Askalak. Askalak. These people have very hard to pronounce names.
He throws a deep
Quick
freeze
deep onto the Hulk Pass, but he does get CS on his first cast. No pressure out from him. Throws out an Arcane Missile, but it's not going to do much.
Gonna blink on over to him, gets feared though. He actually blinked into the fear, a little unfortunate for him. Gonna get hexed off of that. He's gonna trinket actually because they're going hard onto Strongstorm. Strongstorm had to sit that disarm. He's out of it now. Gets that Earth Shield up before being put into a deep freeze at 70% health. They're trying to get some reverse pressure on a
Big counter pressure on Strongstorm.
He just die here. He ends up trinketting at the very last second and using all of his cooldowns. He was gifted the Naru as well as Bobble. I guess he didn't use Nature's Swiftness, but
wow.
Is that actually going to save him? He loves that S key.
He's in trouble next deep, and yeah, he does love that S key.
Phenomen's still trying to get some pressure going. He throws a rank 1 Frostbolt onto the Shaman rather because
Biohazard is forced to fell down there.
To be easier to be polymorphed. They are hitting Biohazard very hard. He's down to 55% health. Another polymorph onto Strongstorm. This is not good. He doesn't have a trinket available. He doesn't manage to get out of it there's going to be a Shadow Fury onto the entire team. Deep on
There's
the Marmex.
their
Here's the
heroism because they
Bolt.
really need to get some counter pressure up. He's just getting sheeped on it, and it's removed now.
Yeah, they're just trying to get it off now. They're trying to CC him throughout this entire duration. Just polymorph everyone, CC everyone until you can manage to dispel.
Good
all the
heals
blood
into
vessels.
his pet. Oh, and now it's dead though. The healer just did top it, but
And there's a counter heroism, man. Our Shadow Priest team has a heroism now. The Shadow Fury goes off. Marmax still in a little bit of trouble against Death Quilt. He does have a string available. He still has heroism on himself. Heroism completely removed from.
I don't know what this Warlock's gonna do, man. He has no pet. Is he gonna try to run to the starter room?
I think he may just die, man. You need to get some pressure going right here because Marmax is low.
Oh, he did have to life tap right now. Marmax is not gonna die. And our friend Biohazard is in trouble in this deep freeze. He may just go down.
Yeah, if they can get a polymorph on the strong storm, he's for sure gonna die. 14% health. He uses his Hellstone. He uses his Shadow Fury onto the team, onto the DPS, trying to live at 8% health.
NS. Wait, what? Did NS get dispelled? I think NS might have gotten dispelled there because I saw. Yeah, it did.
He's trying to live. Is he gonna live? 38%. Look at him.
Whoa,
He's
big
running
heal.
the wall.
He's trying to get his Fell Hunter over there in the wall.
He loves summoning that Fell Hunter.
Oh, he almost got it. He does get shocked at the
shocked.
very end. He's not having any fun. He's now CS.
At 50% health.
He's gonna go for
He's
it.
still trying to get one.
What's
He's sitting
CS
in
on
the
fire,
middle
so he
trying
might
to
get it.
though.
Does
He's
he
just
get
gonna get
shocked
shocked
again?
again. What is he doing? I don't know. I don't agree with that whatsoever.
He's
I think
just.
if you're gonna try and resummon
It's coming down to the wire, man. He doesn't know what to do. He's pressured. He's scared. He's about to die. He's about to get knocked out of this tournament, probably.
Yeah, it's not looking good for him, that's for sure. Trying to cast that Fear gets interrupted. Trying to cast that Immolate, he manages to land it. Will it get dispelled? Because that would really suck for him. They're trying to get pressure going onto Strong Storm. He doesn't have his Trinket available. I believe he trinketed a Polymorph when his Warlock was always at 50% health in that disarm. I think he might die here. He uses his Bobble, Grounding Stone.
He uses his Hellstone too.
He uses a lot of cooldowns here. Will he manage to survive? Nature Swiftness not coming back up for another 55 seconds. Fear going out. Is Strong Storm going to be able to live through this? Marm X taking damage from this MLS as well. He's trying to cast that Hex. Looks like he is going to be able to land it right here onto the Mage. Strong Storm needs to decurse him, but instead he's going to cast a Tremor Totem first before trying to waddle into the room, not dispelling his Mage.
Oh god, a deep freeze. It looks like he will go down in this. And he does.
That was Strong Storm's bad, man. He actually just completely wasted his globals, didn't dispel his Mage. His Mage said, get me, get me, get me. And then he ended up saying, screw it, I'm going to block and try and get it off. Unfortunately, his Shaman did end up falling.
I'm surprised Biohazard didn't die earlier.
Breaking Bad is just steamrolling everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm falling, I don't have fly. I'm dead.
That's gonna happen to me too. Oh god, I'm gonna die as soon as I leave this thing. Here we go. This one. It's Kashiis Fashion Show versus No Hacks.
Or you do a thing, I do this.
Well done.
Okay, that's what you mean. Alright, so this Death Knight going to be doing some pressure out onto Lon's XX. Lon's XX appears to be fine for now. He's going to top himself up behind this pillar. But Croc X taking a lot of damage. I believe he got interrupted. He's trying to cast those Searing Pains. Puts on Demon Armor at 61% health, 50% now. Getting hit very hard by this Hunter. Put into his stun.
Oh, he trinkets to the knot at the very end. He thought he might die. He's very scared right now. Does get a fear off and a UA. Finally getting some pressure out. I think the UA was deterred actually.
He was very low on health, man. He's still low on health. Lonsek's having the hardest time picking him back up. He throws a fear onto the Death Knight's pet because,
his pet goes down, and he needs to get some range from his portal. He's just kiting on top of it.
It's not looking good for him, man. He does have a second pet out. He actually puts it on hold. He doesn't want it attacking anyone. He doesn't want it in the open. If the Hunter wants to hit it, he's got to put himself in a bad position.
He's finally getting some pressure out there. He didn't get mine first, and I think he did fake it, and he's getting some cast finally. So it's looking better. Kashi's getting very low. Looks like he will have to deter again. Oh!
Yeah, 11% health. He throws Shadow Melt, Drain Soul. It is real
It's
on him.
real. He's gonna die.
And no, our Hunter will end up falling. Croc X, quite the Drain Solar. He just drains the soul right on out of him. Know what I mean?
Crocex was in so much trouble at the beginning there, but did turn it around with that one fake on Mind Freeze seemed to put him get him so much pressure.
Yeah, bubble from the Paladin too, but
Yeah,
I really think
there's no way.
Yeah, there's no way. Is there a way?
There's no way.
There's no way. All right, guys. Pretty quick win for our Warrior Paladin Warlock team. These games are going by really fast, man. Interrupt me whenever you
You
feel
go
like
first.
doing
You start.
it. All right, so Death Knight is just trying to run in there, trying to get some pressure going up onto Croc-X. Croc-X is scatter-shotted. A little bit of a mistake. They should have really put that onto the Paladin, try and get some early pressure. Love Ender taking damage, though, gets put into that Howl. A Hodge out onto Feeling Cute. Kashiis taking a lot of damage at 50%.
That's going out onto Kashiis. He does instantly trigger end the turret. He tries to get a drain sword, but he does
going down! He's going down!
He's going down!
Love Ender at 40% as well. Kashiis at 72. Trying to be picked back up. Feeling Cute doing a good job. Love Ender at
I think we need some more Athene here, Conrad.
I think we do too, man.
Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god, the guy going down. What's up with the DK? Come on, fucking heal him. Come on. Do holy shock.
You need to learn how to holy shock the shit. You don't even use holy shock. What the fuck?
They're gonna kill Crab, man.
Look, the crab will go down. What the fuck? What you gonna do with no crab? You noob. The student to heal the crab. You think fucking Hunter's OP just kill the crab, but heal the crab.
Sandiac still taking some damage at 34%, man. He might actually go down here. There is a blessing and sacrifice onto him. He gets put into a Hodge. Look at Kashiis. Kashiis disarmed at 34% health. There's a Shadow Melt and the Feign Death. He's gonna get charged by
Looks like he will go down.
And he went down!
Let's see what Athene thinks about that game.
Oh shit, oh shit. Guy's about to go down.
He can't make us commentary. That was fun.
This is late though. That's funny. Like.
Shadow Priest, Ellie Shaman team. They did run this comp earlier and they did manage to pull a win. Of course, usually the Shaman is playing his mage and the Paladin is actually playing a Resto Shaman, and that's how they land the kills normally. But this game, they feel this comp is better, and I believe they played it into the last PhD we fought, or we saw them fight, but I'm not 100% sure. Nonetheless, this Death Knight is trying to start off onto this Ellie Shaman. No, he's going to swap over onto the Priest, as the Priest has run in. Fnaber trying to get that Hex off. He does manage to land it onto the Hunter. There's no Dispel. A big fear. Everybody CC'd. It's a 3v0. They can swap to whoever they want, start on whoever they want. And it looks like that target of choice will end up being this Paladin, as he's down inside of a Hodge at 34%. He's going to have to bubble. Massive Spell is going to have to come in, but no, this Priest decides he doesn't feel like casting it today. Not today. 75% health on the Priest. He's going to run away. Looks like that was a missed Mind Freeze on him. He needs to be topped by this Shaman. He's having a hard time picking him up though, because this PhD is putting outstanding pressure into him.
I think this Paladin really needed some bubble timing. You know, like he didn't have enough bubble timing, so now he's in trouble. But like, maybe he'll be fine. I don't know. It depends on the skill of his teammates.
It's all about the bubble timing. It's all about bubble timing. When I saw him bubbling at 34%, what's up with that shit? You bubble at 1%. That's how you roll. 1%, you fuck that shit up. Massive Spell, just shit around the corner. That's what he had. Just went around the corner the moment he bubbled, because he was actually knowing that the Priest was freaking like going to cost Massive Spell, because the Priest was brain lagging. He actually didn't. Massive Spell was already going around the corner. This win is gonna go.
Death Knight did it to use his AMS right there. They're trying to pump some more damage out onto the Ellie Shaman. Ellie Shaman sitting fine, 95% health, trying to get the Hex. He does manage to land onto the Death Knight. Death Knight used Trigger, but here's the Bloodlust. They are going to be trying to do some damage into this Hunter, disengaging away. They may want to swap over onto the Death Knight. Remember, he doesn't have AMS available, and he's just sitting almost in the middle of the map. They can do whatever they want here. A stun onto the Priest. They also have Heroism for another 24 seconds. This is looking very good for them at this point. The Hunter down to 41% health. He may have to disengage. He does disengage away. He may have to deterrence, so Hulk Pass taking damage, but Zanku, the Hunter, 40% inside of a disarm. He cannot use his deterrence while in that, and he's actually going to swap over to try and get some more mana back, as his mana is getting a little low. He's going to use that one aspect that I can't remember. A silence onto the Paladin, though.
I do like this, the way this Hunter's playing, except the turret there. I don't know if that was necessary, but he's playing the pillar really well. He has to recognize that he can die at any moment to this Ellie Shaman, so good job by him.
And there's a scatter shot onto the Paladin. This Priest in a little bit of trouble at 43% health, trying to run away, trying to get picked up behind this pillar. Looks like he's going to be throwing the dots off into the DK. He's fully dotted now. AMS is used. He didn't want to get bursted right there. Elishaman going to use his Gift of the Narrow on himself. 78% health using Mana Shield, or Water Shield, I'm sorry, to get that mana back. There's a swap over onto the Shadow Priest though. 47% health, trying to run away. Is really unable to though, and it looks like they might be trying to kill pets this game.
Yeah, Shadow Priest getting very low here. Does catch a Blessing Stack from the Pally, so probably will be fine. Pally is into a string. It is dispelled by Hulk Pass, even though it was a DR string, it would have been pretty short anyways.
Alright, Hulk Pass still at 69% health. Hasn't really been able to be topped. Marm, his healer, fine on mana. MD Max, the healer for the other team, is low on mana at only about 9k. Fnobber, though, he's the Ellie Shaman, and he is really hurting on mana. He may want to go ahead and go for a drink here relatively soon. There's his Thunderstorm, barely gives him any mana back. He's going to actually get scattered right here, wandering back and forth. He doesn't know what's up. He's scattered. He's dazed. They're doing damage onto the Hunter, though. Hunter actually... Is that a... Okay, he's at...
Ore Mastery is hodged on MDMAX, and his Hunter might go down. He does use Shadow Meld. Let's see if he can get away here with this freedom. Yeah, it looks like he will.
Trying to kite away from this Priest, line of sighting the Shaman at the same time, because the Shaman, when he's casting, that's when he's doing most of the damage, and it's all direct. Shaman now at 56% health, he's taking a lot. Gargoyle is popped. He's actually going to shock the Gargoyle. I think he might have missed, though. So that's not very good. The Paladin is certainly going to want to dispel the Gargoyle out of that fear to allow the Gargoyle to do his max damage, because that is a huge damage cooldown for this death.
Yeah, the Gargoyle was not having any fun. It looks like Athene would have dispelled that Gargoyle, but unfortunately we do have MDMAX instead. Athene was not able to make it into this tournament, but Zanku playing very well. Really like how he's playing this pillar.
Trying to get that fucking fear. Just spell the fear.
That's how you gotta do it.
Babyin getting a little low. I think he does have AMS available though, right?
He does not have AMS for another 24 seconds. This is not good for him. He throws down the AMZ because he was getting so low. They're going to do some damage on the Hulk Pass, it looks like, but a stun on the MD Max, still unable to get any heals off. A big Thunderstorm that's going to knock the Hunter onto the opposite side of the map from the Paladin. He is in line of sight now, but this DK still low, unable to be topped this entire time. AMS coming up in 5, but the Hunter is another story. He's at 60% health. He doesn't have a deterrence for at least another 8 seconds if he's able to readiness it. But he's still low. The Death Knight's still low. They're trying to do damage onto the Ellie Shaman, but it's not really working out in their favor. This Hunter may die here at 20% health. A death comes in, but no, it doesn't end up killing him. At 48% health now, he's going to be topped by this Paladin, I believe, but Avarium's still unable to be topped, man. Fnober, his Thunderstorm knockbacks are really doing work for this team. Look at that. Hunter in the middle of the map. He tries to disengage back. He's still on the opposite side of the pillar from where the actual action is. Avarium trying to do damage on the Ellie Shaman. Ellie Shaman's still fine. 60% health, not really dipping low at all. As soon as you see that Ellie Shaman land a Hex, I feel like that's when the big damage is going to come in and they might be able to land a kill. He has to use Gift of the Nara on himself once again. The Priest using Disperse for mana.
He might be able to kill the Priest after this, now that he dispersed for mana. Do you think so? I think it's their best chance here. Although if they do get off the Ellie Shaman, he might one-shot our Hunter for him.
Oh, they overlap stun and silence onto MD Max, the Holy Paladin, though. That's not very good for them at all, man. Zenku at 65% health, and there's the Hex. He's going to use his deterrence right now. I do like that, but he actually, I believe he canceled that, as the Paladin did have to use something on himself. I don't think it was Bubble. I believe it was just Bob. No, it was Bubble. Okay, I'm sorry, my mistake. I was like, why would he bop himself? But no, it did get dispelled off of him. He's fine, though. I think it's a mistake to overlap Bubble and deterrence when there's the only damage into one target. Zenku is at 50% health now. He's in a little bit of trouble. As soon as the silence goes off into this Paladin, it's going to be big trouble. Shock on that heal. Silence coming up in 1 second. It is up once again. They may actually swap to him since he doesn't have Bubble available. There was a stun onto Zenku. He's out of it now. He had to use his String and Empty Max. Going to be taking damage as soon as the Shadow Priest is able to get the dots. There's 2 dots into him right now. He wasn't able to get the Devouring Plague up. Paladin doing a great job rebuffing Blessing of Wisdom to give us more mana.
Man. He's dispersing for mana once again. I guess they can't really pressure him after he does that. MDAMX is pretty as well. He's just gonna freedom away. There's no way he's gonna get a drink though. I think that might be the end.
It's a triple healer team, man. There's the Aura Mastery used. Corgo back out once again. MD Max taking a lot of damage on 40%. He's completely He's inside of a silence. He uses AoE sack. He's in a disarm out of this. I think he may just die here. He gets bobbled though. He has used his trinket. That's not going to be up for a while.
There's his plea. Are they going to be able to get it off?
It doesn't matter though, man. His health is so low and he's healing for 50%
There he goes.
less. He's just going to die when a lava burst connects. They even used the bop to let the priest go full offensive. I like it.
Hunter was gangster life, but couldn't get any pressure out on this sort of triple healer team.
You guys should check out his YouTube. It's Athene Wins. I'm actually a subscriber. His latest uploaded video was just 59 minutes ago. I think they have a new video every hour, so make sure you check that out. It's really cool.
Actually, I think they changed it to hour and a half, or maybe 2, because it's too much out every hour, you know? Like, I think they changed it a little bit.
Was that true?
Yeah. Anyways, we see the Hunter once again being gangster life over here, and if Nobler not really getting very much pressured, and then rapid fire already used by Hunter. They look like little pressure on Marm, but you just get away a little bit.
Felber at 73%. He's trying to land that lava burst onto the pet. It looks like. I think they're just trying to kill that for now, and then they can really, go full offensive onto the Hunter. Just kill whatever they want. They don't have to worry about sack or anything like that. Scatter shot onto Marm. Hunter hasn't really been dropping too many traps. He's only really been dropping the frost traps. There's a guard.
Felber getting seriously pressured here.
Yeah,
just drop a grounding, tries to heal himself while he can't get mind frozen with the grounding down.
These are all the offensive cooldowns coming from this PhD team. So as long as our triple healer team can live through it, they'll be in a really good position. And playing that triple healer, of course, there are Shadow and Ellie, not Disc and Resto. It does mean that they can all cast heals throughout cooldowns, and that's really a good strat against a team like this. Scattershot onto our Shaman. It doesn't really do much though. Hex out onto the DK. He's going to trinket that. Still just trying to get as much pressure as he can. Nice Thunderstorm knockback. It's going to allow him to get away just a little bit. He may actually want a pillar for the time being, but no, he's going to be able to go full offensive here, especially while this Paladin has Divine Plea popped. If they can force him to click that off, have to get some real heals cast onto the Death Knight, that'll be very good for them. Phenomena's at 64% health now, still just running around. This game, it might take as long as the last one. A big fear on the MD Max. I may have just eat my words in a second.
I think Ethereum wasted AMS there because he did get around the pillar, but maybe it won't matter. I mean, DMX does have to bubble there, it gets so low. The whole team's sitting at 60-50%. Let's see if the LA Shaman can get a big lava burst off here. No.
This is a lot of pressure coming out of this team now, man, and they didn't use Bloodlust, but they got Bubble.
After they got him all to 60%, the F-Nopper decided to go for the Crab, actually, so the Crab is down. But Varium taking so much damage here. Did use that AMS. I think it was a mistake earlier. Lichborn healing himself a bit. Looks like he will live, but unnecessary pressure done to him here there. The Pally did trinket a couple seconds ago. Freedom used. Hunter getting a little low. 60% goes back to. I don't know why he actually used Aspect of Viper. He's full mana, but I think he's gonna switch back in a moment.
Yeah, and AMS is now up, I do believe. Zenko at 72% health. MD Max doing completely fine on mana. As soon as they can push in, get another big fear onto him, I think it's going to be the end. They're going to want to wait for Hodge, and then they're going to want to pop Bloodlust. I really feel like that's how the kill is going to be land. They call me Nostradam Radical, because that's going to happen.
They might decide to just turn it around on this DK at a moment here. You did just AMS, but usually they have mostly one on the Hunter.
Yeah,
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, Corpse Grinder is getting very low, sitting at 4%. He's very unhappy right here. Looks like he might go down.
Some pressure going in on the MD Max. He gets feared right here, and there's the Bloodlust. They're starting off onto him. Will they? There's the Hodge. He's at 32%.
I think he's gonna die, man. I'm pretty sure he's gonna. Yeah.
And he will fall. What did I say? Just that. Boom, boom.
Oh, damn.
So Breaking Bad, man.
Breaking Bad, they really looking like they're going to win this tournament. They're just cleaning people up, man.
Yeah, they're undefeated,
People are having no fun against them. Has anyone had fun against them yet? I don't think so.
No, they don't let any teams have fun. If the other team's having fun, they're not having fun. Know what I mean? I believe that is going to be the final match of the day, unless I'm mistaken. So, looking at the standings, man, Breaking Bad, they're 5-0 now? Or unless that was just updated. and buckle up, as some might say. All right, so it looks like Caustica going to be running right on over, getting to the next pillar. They're moving up. They're not scared. They'll run through the middle if they have to. And he's going to be changed device immediately by this warrior. He's just jumping right on in there. Elemental Shaman popping some damage onto this Death Knight. The warrior charges the Paladin. Kashiis blows him. This Death Knight already going to have to use AMS and doing a decent amount of damage on the Mystic XX, but Svetka, he's doing such a good job keeping him top the entire game. There's the intimidating shot, and there's the heroism. Looks like they're going to try and hit this Hunter. He was at 74%. The Paladin keeping him up a little bit, 71%. Let's see if they can actually manage to land some big damage here during this
They
heroism.
actually kind of wasted that whole fear, though. I mean, the fear on the conch blow, Caustica didn't get to connect at all during that, and Mystic X is really the one taking the majority of the pressure, so this Lust is ending up just being really pretty much purely defensive. EM does come out, though, from Missia, and Missia is going to dip down to about 20% HP, does drop the pet sack, going to get topped back off here, and looking like they're in a pretty good spot now. I kind of have to favor this PhD's position here a little bit now that they've lived through cooldowns, but maybe I spoke too soon because Blackjoy is actually just going to die.
Yeah, you know, he actually died on the global. It took Fantastics to bubble.
Yeah, I mean, I think he had
Oh,
deter and
man.
everything still, but I definitely didn't expect him to die there. I mean, EM was already down, Lust just ended, and then he just kind of got exploded.
Well, both the Elemental Shaman and the Protection Warrior did double the damage of both of the players on the opposite team on the PhD. That's some pretty big
Yeah.
damage, man.
Doesn't really surprise me, like, as far as them having like crazy high DP. You don't really want to stun him. You just kind of want to cleave the shit out of him and stun his teammates. So we'll see what they're going to do here. But I'm just going to kind of watch Caustica because usually that's where the action happens. He's going to be charging in here, see what he can get done. He's still mounted up right now. A Sacred Shield and everything is up on him. He has the Flashlight Hot. Mystic X is going to go in there and actually proc that Frost Trap intentionally. They're just going to start off on him. Caustica's taking a little bit of damage as well, but Blackjoy looking like he's going to be the target here. AoE Sacrifice already popped by Fantastics there. Caustica going to charge over, get the conch blow on him. Very early AoE sack, and there's the Gnaw stun on the Mystic X, but he's sitting pretty healthy now. He's going to take some big damage, though, coming out of that Gnaw stun, and Lust is popped defensively once again here. Can they get anything done, though, on the offense with it?
Well, you know, you pop it defensively, but you know it scares this Death Knight as he's already down to 14% health. He's going to have to trinket right there. Still at 16%. There's a Hex on the Paladin. He's going to have to bubble that. He's already used his Aura Mastery. That was a really good Hex. So many defensive cooldowns forced. They pop Bloodlust defensively, and it gets them offensive. That's what I love to see, really counter-pressuring everybody.
Yeah.
Big Intim shout on to Fantastics.
Yeah, and there was a quick deter out of that conch blow from Blackjoy. He's not going to go down last like he did last time, without that deter. So using that early, definitely a good choice there. And Mystic X is pushing in here, dropping the Earth, grab the DK, though. It's just getting back onto him. And, I mean, he's now going to be the target here from Caustica. Caustica putting out a ton of damage into him. The bop does come out. They're just trying to top him off desperately. I mean, there's no bubble. There's no trinket on Fantastic. So next CC that comes out on him could really spell the end unless they can get something going here. They did have that crab root onto Caustica. Caustica, though, going to throw out that conch blow onto Blackjoy, and there's a full Hex onto Fantastics. Blackjoy is probably going to have to use a second deter. There's the readiness deter. He's at 37%. Do they have anything to follow up this onto Fantastics? Fantastic is going to go into the Shockwave out of the Hex. Now he's Shield Bash silenced. He's just getting CC'd so much. Blackjoy's still at about 40% HP. Flashlight's going to come out. Should be able to get topped off here now. But we can see, both Paladins doing pretty well in mana. The pressure, though, is just coming out so hard from this Thundercleave.
Yeah, we haven't seen our Thundercleave. We haven't seen them dip low at all, really. Looks like the Death Knight pet's about to die, too. That's going to lower his damage a lot. Svetka, he's dipping now at 39%. He's trying to top himself up behind this pillar. They're going to swap some damage over onto Caustica as well. A nice Shockwave there. Concussion blow onto Fantastics. Looks like we're going to have another Hex go out onto Fantastics. Blackjoy in a lot of trouble, just trying to Pillar Kite. Mystic X also pretty low on health. Will they be able to land a kill here? The Hex is about to fade. Can they get a follow-up CC? It doesn't look like it. There's a charge onto Blackjoy as well as a disarm, so he's unable to do anything right now, really. There's another stun onto Fantastics. Blackjoy may be in trouble here, but he's actually pillaring really well, not being hit by Mystic X at all during that CC duration. But he's at 20% now inside that Shockwave. The Gag Order Silence goes out onto Fantastics. A nice knockback from the Ellie Shaman, but no, it looks like Blackjoy will be topped. He will live to fight another day.
Yeah, and mana becoming a bit of an issue here for Fantastics. He's going to pop that plea, but he will have the reduced healing during this. So, Koska may be able to capitalize on this. We'll see. Missia, just kind of kiting here, just trying to reduce as much damage as possible. There's a full fear on a Fantastic, so Blackjoy and Missia really going to want to try to stay away from Koska here, but Koska does get that shockwave down, and Blackjoy going to be taking a lot of damage here. Hex does come out, full Hex on a Fantastic. It's going to be trinketed immediately. I think that was the right decision, and now Koska looking like he wants to swap over onto him perhaps, but not going to be able to as he did get entrapped there.
Yeah, I think a swap onto the Paladin could actually be really good. They did use their Intimidating Shout relatively recently, so you might have to wait for that to really put him into a bad position. But with all the bursts they're doing onto the Blackjoy, maybe they'll just tunnel him into the ground. A root on the Fantastics, he is able to get it off himself now. The Hunter was kind of line-of-sighting him. They actually killed the Gargoyle, which is the big damage cooldown for this Death Knight. That's really good. I like it when teams negate the offensive pressure just by simply killing pets like water ellies, the gargoyles, all stuff like that. It's really good to do. Death Knight now dipping to 64%, a charge and a concussion blow onto the Paladin. Missia at 54%. He's just death striking. He's also used his
full Hex came out there too, and Fantastic's going to be stuck in that. Missia going to have to definitely do some kiting here. He does not want to get caught. He's actually going to grip Koska to him, which was a really bad choice, and he's going to die because of it. I don't know what the thought process was there.
You know,
I mean, he might have died anyway, but what?
Well, Koska's teammate, they're actually doing pretty well this tournament. Like
I said, they're usually always in the top 3, top 2 of every tournament on here, so it's not a surprise to me.
Yeah, so that's 2-0 to Rusty as hell. And I'm trying to remember... So we just had them heal. Made it a lot easier. But nonetheless, the gates have opened. The game is starting. Croc X, our champion gnome warlock, jumping around in mid. His port is laying behind that pillar. I wonder, can this DK grip him out?
Yeah, I mean, definitely could, man. That's you kind of have to stay on the same pillar that you have your port on, because if you get gripped into the middle, you can just die because of that. But anyway, we'll see how this is going to turn out for him. And I mean, both teams obviously playing pretty passive here. No one really wants to get too far in there. They're obviously a little bit nervous.
Wow, look at him. He's going to get gripped, dude.
Yeah, he should get gripped. I mean,
he's so far up.
No, actually, the DK just kind of ran past him. He's just going on the Warrior. That's interesting. Anyway, he's just going to be going on to this Warrior, and Serenity X is back behind the pillar here, taking quite a bit of damage, already sword and boarding. And he did have to PvP trinket there. He's at 40% HP. He's going to catch some heals. He should be able to get top back off. But look at this Warlock. I mean, I really feel like they should be going on him just based on his positioning.
Yeah, I don't believe he even put his port back up, so they can just do insane damage onto him. I'd like to see that happen. Also, killing pets is something we've seen people do. No, I'm sorry, he did put his port up, and his pet's just staying right by it, so he really doesn't want that thing to die. I think he's aware that if his pet dies, he's in a lot of trouble. Looks like they missed that interrupt on his Shadow School. Our Warlock is able to throw some dots out. He's got good pressure going up on the DK and the Hunter right now, but Serenity X is taking a lot of damage at 40% health. He's got his sword board out. He's just trying to play defensive, trying to line of sight Blackjoy, but swap over onto Croc X. He's in Demon Armor. He does port away. He uses Hellstone. He's at 2%. I think he's going to die to the diseases. Whoops. We always see these Warlocks port super late.
You have to, like, when the damage is this high, you literally just have, like, as soon as they turned you, you have to press port. Like, I mean, they went on his Warrior. His Warrior popped in Rage Regen and stuff and was in pillaring, and then they swapped the Croc X. And, I mean, by the time he ported, yeah, it was just way too late. If you can just port instantly, you can negate so much of the damage, and it's something you really have to do. You have to be really aware of.
Yeah. So that's going to put our PhD team ahead one game, man. I wonder who Double B is following. I bet he's following, like, the Warrior or the DK. I'm going to follow the DK. Messia, oh, man, he loves the S key. Look at him. He's just wandering around right now. Yeah, I think he might go for the grip on the Croc X because you see him backing up just a little bit. And the Warrior charges in there, throws that intimidating shout down. Misty going to Lichborn out of it, putting some pressure onto the Warrior already inside of that Nos Stun. 57% health. The Paladin Lon's X just using that flash of light. Holy Shock tops him back up to 90% pretty easily. Fantastic. It's his time to heal now because it looks like our Hunter is going to take a little bit of damage. But this team's actually just going full offensive right here. Looks like they might swap over onto the Paladin. The Death Knight is running at him. No, he's going to swap back over onto the Warrior who's going to have to go defensive, use his Hellstone, pop his Spell Reflect. So much pressure going on to our Warlock Warrior team.
Yeah, I mean they did have to pop in Rage Regen. He had to pop his Hellstone and everything. And I just got some insider infos. They're actually training a lot on Serenity X because he always is playing with like 800 Resil. So shout out to Chris Lid for that one. But anyway, Croc X is going to be the target here. He needs to drop off, man. He's taking a ton of damage. Got to get out of there. But he is getting a lot of dots out as well. So the pressure is coming out pretty heavily on both sides. And Fantastics is going to be put into a full fear there. It does break to that Bladestorm, I do believe, so he didn't have to Trinket. He is going to pop the Aura Mastery, top off his team, and I mean, he's doing a good job of that. It is kind of an awkward position, though, for him, as, I mean, his DK is pushing in, and it's pulling him out of...
Bubble at 1% health on Lon's XX. That was just from a silencing shot followed by there was a stun before that. That was insane pressure, man. This PhD, when they want to do pressure, they really do pressure. Looks like the Crab Pet is going to die pretty soon here. Blackjoy at 70% health, full dots on him. There's a stun going out from Fantastics. Lonzex has used his bubble. He does not have that available for him, and he's also used his plea. So this PhD can get a lot of pressure going right now. They're actually going to grip Lonzex in. He's at 80%. Let's see how low they can get him. 50%. Already AMS on Misya. He's unable to be peeled by this Warlock. Lonzex pillar kiting his teammates. This is not good. You need to stay in line of sight for the peels. A Hodge on the Misya, and then a Fear.
Yeah, he did get that Hodge, though, and he does have his wings back up. And what I was going to say is, I mean, if they're going to be swapping on him, he needs to save his freedom for those grips, man. You have to have the freedom to counter the drifts. But Blackjoy is going to deter. He's down at 10%. He might just die to the dots. He's bopped on top of that deter as well. I'm not sure if it's going to be able to be removed. Doesn't look like it. So he will get topped back off once again, and we'll see if Lons is going to have his freedom ready for this next swap to him, because it seems like that is going to be the option here. Serenity, though, is going to be pushing in. He's going to have to go defensive because he's LOSing his Paladin here down below the pillar. He's trying to get some damage out. And Croc X, you know, with this positioning, he can just easily port up at really any time he wants.
A big intim shout onto that Paladin. Let's see if Blackjoy can dip here. He disengages away, but no, Serenity has another charge to meet him halfway. Blackjoy now looks like he's going to get put into another stun. A Hodge goes out, but Serenity X is actually going to tring it and Bladestorm, so he's doing a lot of damage. Blackjoy down to 36% health. Will he actually fall here? He gets intercept charge, and now there's a bubble from Fantastics, but the Drain Soul is real. Fantastics trying to pick him up, but it looks like he's line of sighted at the end. What? Did you see that?
Yeah, I think he did actually LOS that heal, and I mean the Drain Soul did interrupt it immediately, so he didn't even tick. But Blackjoy's gonna fall, and I mean they got so close to killing Lonzex. I mean, live with 1% HP, but not gonna matter because they are gonna fall.
Wow.